All right. Looks like everyone's here. We'll get this all turned on. That's on. That's on. H. Add. To. Submit. There you go. Everyone gets 2 hero points. Yay!
Yeah, I completely forgot about those existing.
I'm getting better at like the in-person game of remembering to like give them out. Mostly because like I take my laptop and I can just set a timer on the computer and I use Foundry as my GM screen. And then every so often it pops up like once an hour. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta do that thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could play Pathfinder without Foundry to remind me of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know that I could.
Between Foundry and Path Builder, it makes it infinitely easier just to keep track of things. And the players are really good about like, and I tell them right up front, it's like, look, know your character, because if you find something later, we're not going to go back and redo it.
Yeah.
Just like pretty much the same rules we have, you know. And they're really good about like keeping track. It's like, oh, I've got this thing, I've got this, I've got that. And like if they realize it later on, it's like, oh, I can do this other thing. We'll start doing it the next turn. Like there's been a few times where like I'll be running a monster and I'll forget, like, oh, it had like a poison added to its bite. Dang it. Yeah. And then I'll start adding it after I remember it.
Yeah, I guess I would just have other ways of like tracking statuses and stuff like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hero points, the convenient thing in the games I was running was they kind of the players would hype each other up. So like at times someone would do something and other people would be like, "Oh shit, that's a hero point moment," and I'm like, "You're right, that was cool as shit."
To be fair, to remind yourself that things are there. Did you ever? I don't know if it was a thing here in the UK. Did you ever get loom bands? They were like bracelet making kits that were made of little tiny rubber bands that were like half an inch around.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but then you have to remember what the rubber band is for.
Yeah.
It's like you look at it and go, you can get. I'm supposed to remember something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you've got say 20 colors and 20 status effects,
yeah,
literally just color code it. If there's one that you regularly use, say sleep, it's like, oh, this nice sky blue might be good for sleep. Oh, I'm bleeding. Look, there's red.
I have like little condition rings that I put on their tokens on the actual physical map.
Yeah.
So that way we can always remember. And
yeah, same thing.
We've got the kid will run over because he's a barbarian, and every time we're getting set up, he runs over. I need my rage token. I need my rage ring. I need my rage ring. And I give him his rage ring, and then he runs back. And then he inevitably has like a mental breakdown as the world collapses around him at some point during the session. He's 8. It's easy to do. Okay. Picking up from last time. You guys made it to Mechatron. And you met with what was her name? Let me see. No, so I applied myself, but I didn't ever Dizon Dizul. Terrible name. Oh, no. Dizul, not Dizul. It sounds like a mustard. Also that. Yeah. You guys headed to make your appointment time, and this woman is essentially like, and she's an emissary of the High Court, and kind of like the functional like head executive secretary or executive assistant. Let you guys know it's like, hey, you've got like before you can actually go in to meet the king, or before you can go in to meet the Ghost King, you have to put together a procession. Essentially, like you can make it a float, you can make it a dance presentation, whatever you want. And it's just like a little one group like mini parade, and they're just kind of going through the city almost constantly. Like they are always running through this city. So they're all over the place. So we essentially have like a little. The way I'm gonna run it is kind of like with the victory points. The better prep you do, the lower the actual processional DC will be. And there's like a certain number, so you can earn points as you go. And there's a bunch of different things. I mean, like you got to set up the theme of it. You got to put together the exhibits, create and design the pageantry. You can actually like go out and recruit locals to be or take part in your processional, so you can actually get revelers and all that. And you got 4 days to do this, so yeah. Everything will be running on a DC 28 for prep.
Ooh.
But it gives some example skills. I can give you those, or you can pick whatever you want. If just yeah. So let's see. We've got theme, exhibits, pageant. That is not spelled right. Pageantry and revelers. Yeah. You can take a easiest way I can think of is basically taking a day on each one, or everyone kind of splitting up and like get a game plan together and then start working on it, and split up or all work together. It's up to you guys. Where do you want to start?
I mean, Crowley definitely has his own goal, which is for revelers. He wants to get into higher status, not just people off the street. No, he wants to get big names in on this.
Okay.
And, you know, the city with the high circles, nobility thing, he definitely wants to use that angle. Especially maybe if he could go through, like, the Church of Ergothoa, since it's the most popular religion and, you know, big on celebration stuff in general. Like, I think celebrants are largely kind of hover around Ergothoa's stuff too. Not 100% sure on that, but even then, you know, some kind of church event with, you know, I mean, this god of death and gluttony. So do some carousing and try to convince some higher ups to support him for being a bloodlord. And, you know, maybe get some favors going, like offering with his newfound access to power.
Revelers.
Basically, it's like a politician going up for donors.
Is there a different subsystem that work better? Chases, maybe? No, not chases. We'll stick with victory points for now. I would imagine you guys probably want to start with the theme first before you can
I was
really
going to
design
say, should we
anything
start
else.
with actually
Yeah.
planning?
Yeah, I mean, I do like the whole like triumph over death kind of thing. Like, I thought that was cool.
It's literally the only good idea I came up with.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's sellable, and it somewhat flatters the king, hopefully.
Yeah.
Especially since
Yeah.
like the primary deity in town is Ergothoa. Essentially like the god of undead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crowley's a follower of that one. He just has a +1 to religion.
Well, there's
He is not a very devout follower. It is all
there's Urgathoa, and then there's also it's the other one for ghouls. Starts with a K. Oh. Let me see.
Kabiri
Kabiri, yes, Kabiri.
or
Ah.
Kabriri.
Yeah, that's more of a niche deity, but still, Urgathoa is more like overall undead.
Like being a ghoul. Kabriri's gross, so Crowley doesn't go with that one.
I mean, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might
Yeah.
pair that with our own ventures as well, since we're working in service of the Ghost King. And I had a thought that we might feature our victory down there in the field over the what were they, the Mwangi?
Yeah, there were a couple of Moangi tribes
Yeah.
from a specific region.
So I'm
I
thinking,
forget off the top of my head,
like-
but
So I'm thinking build a float with statues representing the armies that the Ghost King turned to stone, and maybe have some revelers in there masquerading as the two tribes as well as the ghouls we messed up by pitting them all against each other.
make it into
The
kind
whole
of like a
triple
mock
cross.
Not even a mock battle, just like presenting them like, you know, like heads on pikes, posed in like, you know, victory displays by conquering heroes.
battle. Okay.
If we're gonna do the float idea, we're definitely gonna need the Builders League's help. Because let's be real, we're gonna need the builders to help build things.
That brings up the other thing too. Is do you want to put in like a little bit towards like one of the great houses or one of the groups?
Yeah, Rodolph is absolutely going to the Builders League, and he's going to pitch this as a net good for them. Because as a member in good standing, I mean, he's been doing a lot for the Builders League in the last little while.
Mhm.
And if he becomes a Bloodlord, he is advancing their interests just as a matter of course. So it benefits everyone involved for the Builders League to contribute resources and manpower to this.
Theoretically, we can apply that to everyone as well, within reason. So if we wanted to get like the like tax collector, I don't know how we get the tax collectors to do something.
Yeah, I
I don't-
mean, the Carters might actually be kind of happy with us because of the whole situation in the town with the vampire guy who died. Like, aren't they in charge now up there? Like, didn't we give them some?
They have a trading outpost up there. Rodolph is in charge.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
set up a
Rudolph is
trading
in charge,
outpost.
but like they were pleased with the
Mhm.
outcome, and they ended up better, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're at least liked by every faction. You're actually
Yeah.
admired by the Builders League, just barely, but you are admired.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if we convince them to be part of this, can we use that to increase our standing with them as well?
Oh, absolutely. Depending on how well you actually pull off the processional at the end, you can get 1, 2, or 3 rep points with whatever faction you help. If you don't give to anyone, then it's just going to be like the celebrants overall. Like anything celebrating Urgathoa and Geb, they like.
We might also be able to cash in our connection with the Export Guild guy up in I don't remember the town's name. It was a place where we dealt with the water hag.
I was going to say the Water City.
Right.
He was he the tax
Camp
collectors? I know who
Cookies.
you're talking about.
It was a short name, like Vim, Zim. What was the name of that town?
Invaders.
That wasn't a lead, was it?
Oh, it could have been.
Sallow Shore.
Sallow Shore. Okay.
Yeah.
Sallow
Yeah,
Shore
lead
was,
is a big city. Yeah.
Iled was like a 10 or 12 city.
That's where he partied with the vampire bloodlord.
Yep.
Mhm.
You basically went clubbing in Kansas City with a vampire.
And left a crater.
Yeah, so we can use that guy's name up in Sallow Shore to maybe get some help from the local export guild.
That was in
Maybe I
Sallow
like the idea of
Shore.
giving, if we do it as like a train wagon flow, every guild that helps us give them as part of the cell like their contribution to the city. So the Builders League would be building the city, the carters would be transporting, or the exports would be transporting.
Well, the reputation
encourage
bump
them
will
to
be like to one faction at the end. It's essentially like how.
Oh, we can't stack it all.
Yeah, I mean, you could call in favors from all the different factions to help and like get materials and support and all that stuff. But like the final bump will only be to one faction. It's essentially like
Oh.
how the audience sees your processional. Like they won't necessarily realize that like, oh, the Carters are the ones that moved everything over here, or the tax collectors gave funds for them to buy all the materials. They'll just see that like, oh, that's got a big like banner to the Builders League on it.
Okay.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
the
I
end
was
of the
hoping to be able to boost it more if we could.
day, I don't know that I want to make that it's in our best interest to make this a tribute to the nation or to the various factions or even like shouting out Geb himself. I think it's in our best interest to tout our exploits in
Right. I was
service
sort
to
of
like
thinking,
Geb.
what if we had like one float or one area for each league that we helped? Does it divide up like that at all? Like when you mentioned Sallow Shore, it's like, "Oh, yeah, okay. So Sallow Shore, we really helped the export guild, and in the town with the vampire, we helped the carters, and in, this other town, maybe" like, to sort of highlight the ways in which we helped all the guilds? Is that anything? 'Cause I like the idea of sort of flying our own flag to say, "Yo, we're great." So if that sort of, comes back to one thing, I'm just thinking, like, does it make sense to have multiple
I don't
floats,
know. 'Cause
scenarios, whatever, for different things that we've done, not just the one down south?
I think as many deeds as we can pile on, the better. I just don't know if all of them are useful as exhibits here.
That's the thing.
It's
Like
like
if you start stacking them, then it kind of defaults instead of building up the tax collectors and the reanimators, it would be like, well, they're celebrating the great factions, so it would go more towards the celebrants. So the celebrants would like you more.
What
some
about the 3, the 2 hags and the Field of Maidens thing?
that's the thing. The hags nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Like our stuff in Sallow Shore we helped out one official.
Right.
Who are the
You
hoity-toity
helped
in
out the
this city
tax
going to
col-
help?
You helped out a couple of people there, actually.
Actually,
Right,
yeah,
but
because we did the
Salashore
tax
is
collectors there too.
Yeah, I was like,
Salashore is a backwater, and we
Yeah.
didn't really move the needle on, things people here will care about. Down south in the field, we can cast that as repelling invaders to this nation. Like even in the small town where the vampire died, we can spin that as we restored order to a corner of the nation where there was none.
let's see. In
So like that's the
Salashore, there
light I'm working in.
was Gishkar.
be
He
honest.
was actually with the Carters and wanted like the tax records. Stana Keystone, you helped out. She was the Builders League. Tobias Highridge was the vampire up on the mountaintop, up on the hilltop. You helped him out. I think he was tax collectors.
Okay, there was a session that I wasn't there for. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, so you've helped out a few.
I'll be honest, the main reason I was trying to get all of them involved was literally just so that we could
Bump
stack
all of
up
them.
the yeah, but not just
Yeah.
that, but also get them to pay for all of it.
Oh yeah,
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean, I think we
you
can
can
still hit them
absolutely
up
call
for
in
money.
favors. Like you are
Yeah.
liked well enough amongst them all to call in. Like, hey, we need some materials.
Yeah,
Cough it up.
it was literally just so that we didn't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely like that, like, the centerpiece of the thing is us, repelling invaders, and
Export Guild was good.
we don't even have to say that we did it, like, that we did anything bad with the ghouls, but that, they valiantly gave their lives helping us repel the invaders, because we don't wanna look like we manipulate undead people, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
not a good look for us here.
I mean,
Given that a good start, yeah.
we what was it? We raised a group of criminals as a defense against the invaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we
There we
raised
go.
Anything that casts us as national heroes or even just like soldiers in service to Geb as opposed to adventurers, I think
Yeah.
it works for us.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking, that Iron Tavia might have risen to a high enough level that she would have be considered a bigger threat. But if not, that's fine. Like, we don't have to include her.
I think she was. It's a matter of who knew about her. And
Right,
I don't
right.
think people did.
Yeah, like if that was just a special task that we got sent with, then no, it's not worth it. But like, displaying I don't know if we have any artifacts from like the rhino from that battle, like in those old Cecil B. DeMille movies, where Cleopatra, whoever, comes in on her giant thing displaying all the trophies from wherever, like, that's always good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I kept the skull after I finished like using it as a snack.
I think you
The only
guys
thing
did
Roger would have
keep.
kept will have rotted by now.
I think you guys did keep some type of trophy from each of them.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember
Yeah,
that.
so I think definitely displaying trophies would be great.
Yeah, and
Was
those
the
were at least
impending-
some level of nobility.
Was the impending famine that we worked to avert in Grey Dirge, was that public knowledge or was that kept under wraps?
It was one of those kind of public secrets or open secrets. Like there was rumors about like, hey, the food supply in Greater, it's been interrupted. Like, what the hell? Like it wasn't down to the point that like the city was rationing food or anything. It was just one of those like, that's weird. Eggs went up a lot.
And so
Seems
that
that a
might be
lot of
something.
birds are dying.
Yeah.
That might be something we can use to our advantage too. Is like we fixed that.
You lowered
We
the price of
stabilize
eggs.
the economy.
Oh, too close to real life.
Thinking about it. Thinking about it. It was kidneys. It was all kidneys. It's not eggs. It's
yeah,
kidneys.
Kidney
Yeah.
disease went
Oh,
rampant
so-
in Grey Dirge, and you guys had to fix it. Yeah.
Definitely.
I say save the kidney supply. We just had Roger stop stuffing himself with them.
1 kidney per person. No, 2,
Two.
I guess. But yeah.
So my God, we do. That's 5.
So could we do something like, from a humble beginning, saving a town, we grew to save the whole country, like that kind of thing?
I don't even think it's just saving a town. Like Greater just like the bread basket.
They
for
are
the
like the bread
population.
basket, right? Yeah. But we were discovered, like
It was also arguably our home, so we can defend, word that as defenders of our homeland. Still is technically our home is there.
yeah,
So we got
our home with our incredible blood-soaked mansion. But
Exactly.
hey, if we're gonna be bloodlords, that's cool.
So let's see. What do we got for lore? It doesn't. Oh wait.
Nothing they can prove as regarding to the stolen kidneys.
Yeah. So our theme is gonna be basically we've saved the country.
Yeah.
And,
theme is yes.
now we're celebrating it. The exhibits are, a not a diorama. What do I mean? A scene of like the Field of Maidens
Mhm.
battle between us and the ghouls against the Mwangi people. And then
I would just amend that because god damn it, the spy master. What's his fuck?
Old egg.
Yeah, Soldag.
Celtic.
Like he was there, and if he wanted to, he could dispute any detail we don't get right or that we misrepresent. And the ghouls very much were not on the side of the angels. Like they're outlaws.
oh, okay. So as long as they're viewed as outlaws, my concern was just that we don't want to necessarily
Oh, Celtic
like
left before you guys.
if
met the
there
thing,
is a
right?
sympathy for the ghouls here, like
Then you could
oh,
use that outlaw.
was he there for the whole battle thing?
No, he left. You guys got to the Field of Maidens and he left. He was called back.
Yeah, I
What-
mean, we
so
can just
tell
make
him what
it
happened.
clear that
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
were outlaws,
Yeah.
and I
Out-
think that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't put undead in a bad light in this
Right,
city where
yeah.
being undead is such a big deal.
Well,
that can easily be spun to our favor. It's basically we took some outlaws and actually got them to
Reformed
turned into a
them,
militia to
yeah.
fight for the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
put them to
redemption.
work, albeit without their understanding, in service to Geb.
Right.
Yeah.
Understanding doesn't matter. The service matters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, for the theme, let's see. Like, it gives religion and society, and what you guys are saying so far works out pretty well. For
Yeah.
both. If there's something else you guys can think of to spin into it, go for it.
I feel like we should somehow put it in there as it was either for the people or for the king.
Yeah,
Oh, that's being for
maybe
the skill check.
was diplomacy in there? Because it's sort of diplomacy, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
Got it.
So religion,
This is
society,
all on you guys.
diplomacy. The more people that are like, so it's essentially like as long as you guys can pass that 28 DC, you get 1 or 2 points. I think it is. Let me see. 2 points for crit, 1 point for regular, no points for a regular failure, and you lose a point for a critical failure. As long as you don't roll an
Okay.
18 or lower, which I don't think most of you can.
So can anyone roll, or we pick like one person to roll for each thing?
Oh,
How does
anyone
that
can.
work?
Anyone can, because like the preparation points, we're looking like the top preparation points. There's only 4 categories. 24 points is the top category of
Okay.
preparation points. So it's expecting like everyone rolls on every category,
Okay.
or at least most
I
people
could-
roll on every category.
I
Okay.
could do a diplomacy.
Let me see.
Yeah, I could
There's a
too.
diplomacy. Don't worry about the label. I'm just grabbing it out of the chat, or out of the thingy. Religion, society, deception. I
But
guess if you
it's,
really want to build up your own, like how much of I don't know, really pump yourselves up a little
Oh,
bit.
Can I put forward a suggestion of athletics for, how awesome and fighty we were?
That'll come up later on, like pageantry or the actual event.
Like,
oh, I think you need to split us out because it's telling me missing statistic
Oh,
diplomacy.
oops. Beep.
because, if I'm being honest, I have a total of 2 skills.
There you go.
And those are none of them.
You got more than 2.
I'm-
You've got 5.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
You also have 3 different lore skills. You can use all the lore skills too.
That's better.
I mean, yes, but of those, I think religion is my highest. Because it sure as hell ain't diplomacy.
Mm. Like you can also you could also just make a pitch for a different skill too.
Athletics. But yes, unless
I
you're gonna
think
let me
I think
try
we get
theme
to
is going to be about
athletics
the
and
performance.
medicine.
theme is about the only one that athletics wouldn't work for. But all the rest of them you can probably get athletics to work for.
I'll have to go with religion. It's the highest of those.
Okay.
We're already doing pretty good.
I'll
So
take the
yeah, there
success.
you go.
Rodolph, are you trying anything on him?
17's good.
Yes, I was just looking at all my options to see if I could justify occultism, but I don't think I can. Let's go society.
Okay.
I was gonna say your society's pretty crazy too.
Yeah. You're pretty good at society. Deception's pretty good. Occultism, yeah. 28. That's
Right
a
on the
pass.
dot.
You know what? That's a pass. That's all that matters. It's a pass. So
Woohoo.
for themes, we're working with 4 points so far. Okay. The actual exhibit. You guys have a theme that you're already set on. Now, the actual exhibit is essentially like building the float, making the physical elements of the processionals display, statues, icons, decorated wagons, puppetry, trained animals, so on, so on. It gives a few examples. Athletics, if you provide manual labor. Crafting, like if you're creating puppets or chiseling statues. Nature, if you're training animals as part of the processional. I would even go in, like, I know Roloff has architecture lore from Builders League. That would probably apply in here. This is much more of the physical side of all of it, but yeah, like Roloff kind of drawing up the prints and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the exhibits is more the physical labor side.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to use a hero point on that.
Yeah, for the exhibits.
Oh God.
Oh no!
Well,
Good lord.
sorry.
Remember, a
For the
regular
exhibits, I'm
failure
thinking-
is no change.
Jesus Christ. He's just rolled up
Hey!
like a
Ah!
5. You know what? Oh my god, I just need to roll like a 6 or higher, and I rolled 2 5s.
You do get it back though.
Okay.
Yeah, for the exhibits, I'm thinking Field of Maidens,
Uh-huh.
just an array of statues that the revelers pose among. And also to justify the use of architecture lore, I'm thinking trying to build a facade of the house on the hill over the village.
Mhm.
And Rodolph can stand in front of that in his finest regalia.
Oh, also let me check. Savath. Savath theme. Where'd it go?
Fuck these 5, man. Hero point.
Oh God.
Regular failure. He's okay.
Are these dice fucking rigged? What's happening?
Gotta change your color. Gotta change your color.
5, 5, 5, 5, 4.
Hold on. Let me do this.
Man, I didn't even get to roll for myself.
Hey, you're here. I'll undo that then.
I said sup when you said Savath.
Oh, I didn't even hear you.
Yeah, I also didn't hear. I like the idea that this is just everyone being like, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. Roger is just working on it and building it, and everything is going wrong in the
They are
background.
all over the place on those dice. There we go. Savath, there we go.
Imagine Crowley's doing physical labor. He's just bitching the whole time instead of focusing.
Now that you're here, Savath, they're rolling for theme, or not for
Okay.
yeah, for theme.
Do I have to do an athletics check? Or
Not yet. It's going to be more of like an intellectual. So you're looking at more like diplomacy, religion, society, deception. Essentially,
I
like
got deception.
putting together the actual theme of this processional. DC 28.
Gotcha. I'm going diplomacy instead of deception then. Hero point.
Okay.
God.
So far, that's been almost every roll for
Jeez.
everyone.
Oh.
Oh God, that was almost a 19. That would have been a crit.
It is better.
This
Again,
doesn't
I'm
So,
fail.
just picturing like,
regular
the
failure.
psychic
There's no
roll.
change on victory points. So 4. Exhibits is more physical. It's you're actually building it. So we're looking at athletics, crafting. If you guys are bringing in animals, nature. If you can think of a different skill, go for it. 37.
There we go.
Damn near a crit.
Almost, yeah. Regular success. Okay.
There we go.
So for
See, that's the one we
exhibits,
needed more good rolls on.
minus
so-
1, plus 2. So minus 1, plus 1, 0. Still plus 1. Plus 2.
Can't believe on that fucking diplomacy check I rolled a 23 when I have a plus 20.
Rolled off. You had a regular failure, right? I think
Yes.
maybe erased it. Okay, so we got what is that? 3 on exhibits. Okay. I don't think you guys.
Oh man, do we actually have everyone here today?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
We got what 7 points total?
7 total so far. Pageantry. You guys are gonna working together, kind of creating these costumes.
Okay, what do I have to roll for that?
Well, hold on. Putting together the costumes and accessories that participants are going to carry or wear during the processional. Example skill checks. We've got, let me run through them. We've got crafting, if you're going to design the outfits or items to be carried. Deception, if you're intending for the outfits to be recognizable representations of specific individuals in the form of a disguise. So, disguises. If you plan to choreograph dances or a battle or compose original music performance, I would even let I think Roger has warfare lore.
I do, but it ain't great.
So I've
What
got
about boneyard
expert
lore to
crafting.
get the ghouls right? The ghouls and like the statues that were representing in the Field of Maidens.
Yeah, Boneyard could work. Undead lore would work really well. Undead or zombie.
Can I make an argument for medicine? Now, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Roger's primary focus was battlefield medicine and follow-up triage.
Oh God.
There's a lot of stitches applied to that. So I'd like to use medicine for the crafting role. If I can stitch flesh, I can stitch fabric.
And also flesh. I'm sure we could get plenty of that too to
Also,
just
yeah,
use as
but-
costuming.
I mean, I've got expert crafting with plus 17. For deception, I'm plus 18. Performance plus 16.
So
I was going to say
pick
it's
the
roll
best one,
each, just
like-
try and add.
I'd let Roger use medicine.
Yay.
Savannah,
Can I
you
can
have
I make a
undead
pitch
lore.
for
Why do you have undead
can
lore?
I make a pitch for esoteric lore? Like to get
Oh, I
like
do
to
have plus
try to
8,
put in
19.
little details like to make different factions happy. You know, like symbolism and whatnot. If not, I'll go performance. It's fine, but
I forgot I had plus 19 to undead lore.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you could use esoteric lore. You'd probably have like a
That's
minus
a
one
high
to it,
lore.
but
yeah.
I don't have undead lore. I have zombie, vampire, and warfare.
because you're an undead
Damn,
slayer,
almost
you
a
are-
crit.
Yeah, it's a very specific combination. It makes sense.
Fuck yes.
Hey, yeah, crit. All right, hey.
1, 2, 3,
That's a fail, isn't
4.
it?
Yeah.
Regular failure.
I'm going
A
to
regular fail is
hero
fine.
point that. No,
Just another
I can do better
5.
than a 5.
I mean, can you?
No one can do better than a 5. That's the theme. If you roll a 5, you're fucked anyway.
with it.
I don't know if you can.
Hey, now I rolled a 15 on the lore check.
Nice.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Who
Alright.
else?
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
roll? Oh yeah.
Oh wait. All right. So diplomacy is gonna be a big thing. You know the whole like red carpet thing of who are you wearing?
Mm-hmm.
Could I
You
go
mean
to
literally who are you wearing?
Okay, no, but
This is last season's.
I probably did
Lord.
get in contact with a bunch of tailors to make everyone's clothes, which I'm not seeing my high fashion stuff in my inventory, but so can I go to like those people and see if I can get high tier tailors to like actually donate some stuff for like kind of advertisement.
What is it? There's a specific one for it. I know there's like a specific like make a request. Not impression. What the heck is it? Request. Oh. Diplomacy.
What?
Yes, diplomacy.
Hey. 34.
34, yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's essentially a diplomacy check.
Everyone's like coming up with themes and everything. Crowley is just bribing everyone.
So let's see.
Man, if you need another diplomacy check,
Yeah,
I'm plus 20.
Go with what works, man.
Plus 1.
He's nobility.
plus
Bribing
3,
is my
plus
main skill
4,
that isn't killing.
plus 5.
Nice.
So we're up to 12? Okay. Finally, revelers. It's essentially you're going to recruit like large numbers of locals to help take part in this processional. They're going to be like your extras, your dancers, or even just sometimes like going out and like raising awareness of your processional kind of thing.
Would that be diplomacy?
We've got a couple of suggested skills: is diplomacy to convince people to join. Oh, why is it giving it to you?
I mean,
Diplomacy to convince people to join your processional. Have fun, dear. Performance to inspire them to share in your artistic vision, or just straight up intimidation to threaten them with dire consequences if they do not take part.
I like the idea of having them be interested in my autistic vision.
I also heard that, and given that we're bribing very rich people and politicians, it got a too real again. Can we back it up?
actually, yeah, I should have. I don't know what happened.
And then if you have another skill or request, go for it.
What about
Mine didn't say if I
deception
passed
in
or
terms
failed.
of convincing them that this other very influential person would be very impressed? Not saying it outright, but insinuating it.
Heavy insinuations. Yeah. Yeah, that could work.
That's
There
what's
we
up.
go.
Yo,
4 points so far.
right.
Was my 34 a pass?
A success, yes. DC 28.
Okay.
All of the preparation DCs are 28.
Okay, I wasn't here for that part.
Oh, yeah.
I think the way to spin an athletics check.
Also, could could I drag the high fashion fine onto my thing? Because I remember getting that before, but I'm not seeing it on the sheet. Like when I borrow the
Oh, weird.
clothes.
Okay.
Okay, let me just put that. Actually, wear that again. Oh, it's already showing as worn. All right, cool. So let's just stow that. There, my better clothes. And also, speaking of bribery, would there be any bonus if I spend a bunch of money? Because I was thinking one of his main plans was kind of going to the Church of Urgathoa, since they're close with revelers, and basically throwing a feast and using that, like schmoozing at the feast, while they're all happy, and convincing a lot of like possibly high tier like reveler like performers and stuff to join.
Are you trying to use what skill for that?
Let's see. That'd be diplomacy, I think. But that's probably the ability bonuses I get, like the high society shit. Because I think if it's make an impression specifically.
I mean, it's still make an impression is a diplomacy check. It's just applied diplomacy.
All right, and
yeah, you can make a diplomacy.
All right. Hey, if I spend a whole bunch of money, could that help out?
And yeah, you get your +1 with your super fine clothing.
Sweet, and I think
high fashion
noble
clothing.
background stuff too, because that gives me also a +1. Looks okay. So let me see. We're just gonna roll that like separate because I don't think the clicking the thing gives me all the like check boxes.
If you hold shift.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Sick.
Nice.
So the only way you could make a critical success on a diplomacy is with a critical or with a hard 20. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't with the other bonuses. That's just my flat diplomacy.
Yeah.
Shift clicking just just went through flat.
Can I make an argument for athletics and doing like athletic performances? Be like, hey, come watch the show as soon as it starts. It starts on this time. Like sprinting through the streets, spreading the word.
Athletics check because you're carrying revelers to the performance.
Start stealing dudes.
Some
I'll
said
let you do an
send
athletics,
dudes.
but you have a -2.
I mean, that's better odds than anything else, so I'll take
Yeah.
That's
it.
still like a +20.
There's a +20. I'll take.
Yeah. And it's
Fuck you guys. Fuck you, ducks. You know what? No, I'm not taking that. I'm gonna re-roll it and get a 5.
All right, hell dice. I have Jersey.
I'll take it.
There we go.
Take a success.
1, 2,
These
3,
dice
4,
tonight.
5,
is
7.
Jesus. Right. Let's take a look here.
Success is a
Uh,
success.
We have a
is a
+7 on
1, 2,
Revelers.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points in Revelers. Your points are all over the place. So actually building the exhibits was probably your lowest one. 7, 14, 19 points. Okay.
One thing where
They're
Crowley could use
basically held
diplomacy.
together with, spit and baling wire.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why don't we?
We half-assed it, but Rodolph had a good design, so it worked.
And we got all these people to stand in front of them so people can't see how shoddy the exhibits are.
Exactly.
Okay.
Crowley just went and bribed the entire fucking capital city ballet squad. Ballet troupe.
Okay. So, did we have it set to a specific faction for your theme, or are we just going for everyone?
Rodolph would make the case for the Builders League.
I mean,
Yeah. Like
I
the
don't
build-
have a problem with that. Like, I don't have a strong allegiance to any of the.
I think Rodolph's the only one left who does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Crowley
so if
would-
you wanted to be the Builders League, that's fine.
Yeah, Roger's not going to argue it.
Yeah. Probably wasn't really theming it after Celebrants. It's just he specifically bribed them because it's well, they'll join in anyway.
Okay. So aiming
So,
towards
yeah,
the Builders League.
Builders theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well put them all in one basket.
All right.
Things are expensive, by the way.
So we've got 19 preparation points. That's going to bring your actual perform the processional DC to a 26.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
The highest was a 33. The lowest was a 23. If you'd have gotten 4 or 5 more points, you'd have been at a 23, and you would have maxed it out.
Yeah. If our exhibits had been better, but they weren't. So
Yeah. You had a lot of
Still lower
zero,
end of the spectrum.
no points gained.
yeah.
Okay, so this is going to work kind of like a ritual. Before the characters attempt primary check, the other characters can attempt a secondary check to affect the primary. So it's kind of like a ritual. Secondary checks will go through and they'll do their stuff, and that will give the primary check bonuses or possibly negatives.
And what's the primary check?
Let's see. Any of the following
Surprised it
skills
wasn't
can be used for the
bonus.
primary or secondary checks to perform the professional. Athletics to catch eye-performing stunts. Here, I'll just do this. We've got athletics. Intimidation to appear menacing and memorable. Performance if you're going for more of an entertaining thing. Or an appropriate lore. Or a lore associated closely to one of the processional's themes. So it'd be, I think, like your boneyard or undead lores.
Hmm.
Of those skills, who is the highest? My highest is 22.
I got a 21 in intimidation and
Excuse
for
me.
today only performance.
Anyone else got higher than a 22?
That's my athletics.
I can do the undead lore. Well,
I've got 22 on Boneyard, but
There's
I don't think
also
my cult is a multiplier.
these are like, you guys also have to decide who's going to make the primary check, and everyone else can make the secondary. It's one primary.
That's what I was
to
asking
determine.
for the primary, who has higher than 22.
Yeah,
or
these are not
equal.
one per skill listed. It's
one.
Oh.
Yeah.
So would we have to roll the same skill though? So like say we pick Roger for athletics.
No.
So we could roll an appropriate skill that would support his.
Mm-hmm.
So like the one that so Savath could roll undead.
Yes.
I could roll performance or whatever. Okay.
Now, that again though, that brings up, you need to know ahead of time who's going to make the primary, and everyone else will be secondary.
Well, one of the 22s should be the primary. I don't care which one.
These are it to be Roger.
If you're looking at 20 or
Rodolph had a
higher,
22 as well.
I mean, there's also, I mean, technically you could make esoteric fit in there.
Oh, yeah.
Boneyard. Who's got Boneyard? Rodolph has Boneyard
do.
at 22. Feldar has esoteric at 21. Undead lore at 19.
Yeah, so the 22s are the best, I think, numerically. Anyone feeling better rolling wise?
I mean, I'm rolling poorly, so statistically I should roll high, right?
you are due.
I am due. And I've still got one reroll.
And it's all gonna be on the same DC, so everything's gonna be at a 26.
Yeah,
Right.
so let's Roger can be it, and then we'll just roll to support him.
A crit success will give you a will give the final check a +2. A regular
Okay.
success is a +1. A crit failure is a -1.
Okay.
Oh, also, on a crit success, you grant your ally essentially this is going to work like aid. A +2 for the triggering check. If you're a master, it's +3. If you're legendary in a skill, it's +4. I don't think anyone's legendary in a skill yet, so it can be a +2 or a +3.
I wish I was a master. But yeah, it'll be athletics then from Roger for the final check. If everyone is happy.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Oh yeah, and
Suddenly I
throw
feel like I've
athletics
got
on there.
responsibilities and I don't
Party
like that.
skills. Athletics.
Roger.
Are we rolling the secondary checks first to
Yes,
set up the primary?
secondary first, so we know what the primary has for bonuses.
Okay, so
Okay.
I will roll Boneyard lore.
Okay. And I will roll performance.
And it sounded like Roger was going to do the actual final check.
Crit.
Yes.
Okay. Regular
Let's see some
success, crit.
acrobatics.
Crowley and Savath.
I can do undead.
Go for it.
Sure.
Or I also can do yeah.
I was just showing acrobatics instead of athletics up there. They just
Hey, success.
roll from sheet or
Athletics. I'll get it on there. It's not going up there. Why is it not going up there? What message is it giving me? Hold on. Copied text of check. That's not what I wanted. Oh. It's so dumb. It copied it and then I had to post it.
saying missing statistic on selected actors, but I have Crowley selected. There we go.
I had party selected for some reason. Yeah. Table gets really picky sometimes. So we're going to go with a net crit success.
Woohoo!
Master, what did I say master was? +3?
Yes.
+3. Okay. Roger, you said you're doing the final check. Let me do it this way. I'm just going to reduce the DC so you can just straight roll it.
Cool. We're gonna say athletics are 22.
26 minus 3 is 23.
Okay. As long as I don't roll a 1.
Roll an 11, it's a crit success.
Yeah. You know, I'm happy with these odds. I'm happy with these odds.
Odds are in your favor.
I'm not even gonna look. I'm not looking. Rolling.
Literally, you can't fail.
I
I mean, he could roll
If
a
you roll a
1,
1,
and it would.
Fucking
Well, if you
yes.
roll a hard
Plus
1, it reduces
22.
it. If you roll a 1, it reduces the success category by 1, so it would have been a regular failure. But that's a crit success.
That is a crit
Hooray.
success.
So your
We perform
processional,
the hell out of this.
your processional goes off without a hitch. It just goes off amazing. Like you've got your party out there and like getting the crowd all excited for it and everything. Looking up, you'll actually take note. Like there's one point where like you'll see a few other bloodlords that you don't necessarily recognize up on like the balconies outside the Cinerarium. You might even see what the heck's her name again?
Karen. These
Oh,
nuts.
the lady we met
Uh,
last time.
I was trying not to say.
Dazan.
These on. That's it.
Yeah, Dazan.
Yeah.
It's these nuts. I'm gonna remember her damn name.
Same. I broke it in my brain.
You guys, the processional is also going to take about 6 hours to complete. If I didn't mention that at the beginning, but so you guys are out on the street for about 6 hours. So it's a nice long processional. So you definitely get noticed.
So we're on the level of the Prince Ali scene from Aladdin.
From Aladdin, yeah.
So on a crit success, let's see here. Subsystems. You guys are going to you get a bunch of stuff on success on a crit success. We went with Builders League. 3 points with faction, so it brings you up to 18.
Woohoo.
We're not really doing XP, so that's fine. This is the characters earn 40 XP for performing the processional, 80 if you succeed, 120 if you crit succeed, plus the 60 from the actual prep. So just that processional is like 180 XP. Wow.
Woohoo.
But again, we're not really tracking that because we got milestones. You guys all are also going to get for the next week in Mekatar. You'll get a +1 circumstance bonus to diplomacy and intimidation.
Ooh.
Sweet. Hopefully, I do not have to use that.
Oh no, it's just always for the next week.
Yeah, but if I have to use it, we fucked up.
That could be in combat
If
too.
the dude without a face is the mouth of the party, something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
Just let the dude that eats faces talk.
Processional. Processional day. Save. Alright. All players to view. There you go. Okay. So the procession will go off, and kind of get everything back to wherever you started it at. We'll say the Eben Mausoleum. You get everything back into the hangar. Everybody kind of disperses. Any promised payments are given out. All that stuff. While you guys are kind of getting everything sent back out, you're going to get another sending spell that you guys, similar to when you were leaving Field of Maidens. Geb will see you an hour after the next sundown. Meet me in the High Court, and I will escort you. You can choose to respond or not, but you don't get a secondary response at all.
Yeah, I don't think we can exactly say no.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
yeah, Rodolph just gives him a very good.
Splendid.
So you have a few hours until sundown. When is sundown? I think it's like 8 or 9. Right now we're looking at probably, if you started off at a decent time in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, you're probably looking about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you've got a few hours to kind of get yourselves cleaned up, get ready, stock up if you want to on anything.
Do my makeup.
Yep.
Buy a new face.
Yeah, exactly. Or borrow it. You never know. In the city, there may be a
We'll take a
market for
trip
it.
to the butcher's. We'll find you something.
Like, I need my finest skin off.
So we'll advance to dusk. The clock says about 6 p.m. And then we want an hour after dusk. 7 p.m. Back into the Cinerarium. And as you guys come in, unlike last time, like there's not that throng. There's not a horde of people in trying to get attention this time. Dazan's largely had this place cleared out for you. Or at the very least, like, there is a path in, and like everyone is being orderly this time.
Oh god.
And you'll see Dazan there. She's got, like, again, that hairless zombie cat in her arms. You had quite the excellent processional. The king himself even took note of your efforts.
We are honored.
As
How
you
kind
should.
of him to take time.
The Ghost King does make it a point to take note of more interesting groups. And she'll kind of almost narrow her eyes a little bit, but not in like the it's not like like I don't trust you narrowing. It's like she's trying to say something diplomatically.
If you're struggling for words, you can just say it how it is.
Um, Fildar is sort of like a little out of her depth because she thought she was like gonna be adventuring with a party, and now they're in Mekatar, and she's about to be a bloodlord. So,
I was gonna
like,
say
what?
that's a thing too. Like, what has Feldar done that you think would have gotten the attention of the king? Like, these guys broke up
I
like a
mean,
poisoning ring and possibly a yeah, like some type of poisoning plot.
I think that she's probably developed a reputation for the breadth of her knowledge and sort of her ability to be at the right place at the right time and have the right tool at hand to do the job. Like, she's a very particular uh, not a very particular tool. What's the opposite of that? She's a tool.
Universal.
Yeah, she's like a universal tool to be applied to problems that need dealing with. So I think that's kind of her thing. So she didn't think of herself as meriting the attention of the king, but as she thinks about it and she looks at the others, she kind of realizes that she kind of is in their class, but doesn't quite believe it.
It's like, oh yeah, I did write 6 books on how to solve just various things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have my
Yes,
own
there's
encyclopedia
how to
volume.
how to kill any monster.
She is Webster.
Volumes 1 through 6.
Webster's Dictionary of Murder.
Indeed.
So she's gonna start escorting you down this hallway into essentially like the royal chamber. And as you guys are walking down the hall, you hear like the footsteps kind of echo. And the King Geb is busy, but he has made time to receive you nevertheless. He won't be alone. There's another visitor in attendance.
With whom do we have the pleasure of sharing this audience?
It was a private meeting with the king and his visitor. I'm not permitted to say. I will recommend be on your best behavior.
That was never in doubt.
You can give me a sense motive if you want. You don't have to. Kind of like
Absolutely.
notice her comment about this visitor and such. There's dice all over the numbers. Crowley and Rodolph, you very much get the sense, like, whoever this guest is, she does not approve of him. Or of them. She's
That
kind of
she
saying it
doesn't
almost.
approve of the guest?
Yeah, that Dazan does not approve of this guest. Like, she's almost saying
Okay.
it with like gritted teeth. But she manages to keep. She does a pretty good job at like keeping her demeanor polite,
We have no
as
int-
non-insulting as possible.
Oh, don't worry. We have no intention of making waves.
Do you have any suggestions for interacting with this person in a way that might be beneficial to us?
Keep your responses short and brief. Brief and to the point. He does not tolerate fools. Feldar, you get the sense this might be like a relative of hers or something.
I'm sorry, it might be a what?
Like a relative.
Ah,
Or like
okay.
she has some type of like close relation
like
to
a
this guy.
moronic nephew?
You're like an evil uncle or
Okay.
something. Yeah. You're not sure, like the way she said that, it's like that feels like a familial response.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And as you guys eventually get to the end of this hall, there's gonna be this small lecture hall and this an underground level in the cinerarium. There's 5 rings of benches that kind of sit empty in the semicircular balcony above a large central pulpit. And down in the pulpit, there are 2 figures engaged in conversation at this large metal table. This guy. Yep. So you recognize him pretty quickly. That is the Ghost King Gib.
Does he have no pupils? He just has white eyes?
Pretty much, yeah. He's a
ghost.
ghost, so yeah.
Gotcha.
There's
I
also
can
this
suddenly
guy.
see why they went with the Egyptian vibe for this
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
I'm getting the vibe.
Let me see here. Where's my art book?
Oh yeah. You should all stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
I'm
Oh
just
nope, that's Field of Maidens. That's why.
that hairline though.
Yeah.
Dude
I don't
has
think
a
it's a
soul
line
patch on it.
anymore.
The dude has a soul patch on his forehead.
Art
That's
gallery,
actually
there
just
it
the
is.
adhesive that's holding the circle.
Or all right, more like 5, 6, 7 head.
I was gonna say that's a never-ending forehead.
There's also this guy.
He looks
Oh,
Does
like
he just
hey.
walk around with like half of a goblin? Because if he does, I'm gonna hide.
No.
That's half a ghoul. Super ghouls and goblins.
Let's see. Language.
Is that like a pet ghoul?
He's actually a ventriloquist, and that's the dummy. He just
Yeah.
holds it by the spine.
Ugh.
Ancient Assyrian. Okay. As you guys kind of approach, or you're coming in here, you see these 2 individuals down inside of this this pit area, talking. Obviously, the Ghost King is there conversing, and this ghoul with like the floating zombie head, or ghoul zombie head. The individual is not actually talking; it's the floating head that is talking.
I knew
Oh.
he was a ventriloquist.
And it's a little tough to make out their voices. Like, Geb himself just kind of like drifts in the air just above the ground. His ghost. Most of his body's in like this robe that has this kind of sickly blue-green mist look to it. So only his head and hands actually appear solid. The lower end parts of his body actually kind of twist and coil into like smoky tendrils. And you can hear him talking, and he's got this soft voice, but it has like a bass to it that carries through the room with. It's actually really hard to ignore his voice as he's speaking, even if it's tough to understand as you're first entering this room. This other individual, this other ghoul, actually still has feet, but no less impressive. He's got this large, obviously, he's got the large golden. What is that neck piece called? I don't know. He's got this large like neck and pauldron piece and pieces of armor, all of them that are all clad in gold. His skin actually has like this cobalt color to it that glistens, almost like he's. It's almost oily the way it kind of sheen. It has this glistening sheen, kind of like a piece of sliced meat that expired recently. There's that almost rainbow glisten to it.
Brother.
And he's got his palm kind of rest. Anytime he rests his palm atop what looks to be like the head and armless torso of some type of mummy in the air at his side. Anytime he goes to reply to the Ghost King, he'll put his hand on this mummy's scalp, causing like this raspy, dry voice to kind of echo from the jaws. And as you start to kind of come in and you make your way down the stairs, it sounds like these two are kind of discussing the interpretation of, the interruption of tithes and prisoners being transported between Geb and Nemrek Victoria. And if you want any information about any of that, you could do a recall knowledge regarding like hearing rumors and stuff like that. But you don't have to. Crowley and Feldar. You've heard rumors. There's increasing tensions between the kingdoms of Geb and Nex. N-E-X. Nex is essentially the underworld underneath of Geb. It's under Geb. It's large. It's almost entirely inhabited by ghouls. It's a separate kingdom from Geb itself. It's a reasonable assumption, especially for Crowley. Hearing that, or hearing what they're talking about, you'd start to realize, like, oh shit. This is Cortash Kane. Essentially, the high priest of Cabriri and lord of the underground ghoul city of Nemrek Noctori. This is the king of Nemret Noctori. And yeah, this is... Yeah. You're in front of two kings.
Ew.
Really awkward moment for Crowley, considering he never considered going with his people.
Rumor has it the Ghost King has been restricting the export of some precious resources to the city. Crowley will also know there's a bit of an ancient feud between the Urgathoans of Geb and the ghouls of Nemrek Noctori. This actually kind of really makes sense since you're a ghoul. The ghouls in Nemrek Noctori tend to worship Cabriri, which is kind of like the patron deity of ghouls and cannibalism. While Urgathoa is essentially undead overall.
So does it seem like there's tension between them, or that
It's a little
They're
bit, yeah. It's that political brinksmanship. You get that kind of sense
Mm.
of it. Like,
Like, well, Crowley's like smile rarely breaks because he's too smug to not.
Mhm.
You're definitely gonna see like he doesn't say anything, but he definitely gets that. Oh fuck me! Look, the moment he like walks into this room.
Yeah.
Kaburi is also thought to be the reborn form of the first ever ghoul, or the first humanoid to ever devour his own kin in life. He's a demon lord,
Hmm.
the demon lord of ghouls. Mostly worshipped by ghouls and ghasts. But yeah, that's one of those fun stuff. Uh, yeah, on a crit success. Yeah, there you would know that there's, or you would have at least heard about. There's supposed to be like this ancient feud between the Urgathoans and the Nemret ghouls. Uh, Further complicates the presence of such a high, powerful priest in Mekatar. I'm trying to think of a real world equivalent, and I don't know. Mormons showing up at a Christian church.
Hmm. Not just Mormons, but like the head of the Mormon church.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Dum dum
Like
dum 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 dum.
the head of the Mormons going to meet the Pope.
Yeah.
This is very much like
Like
a
you gotta wonder.
ooh.
Does he bring the hat with him?
Probably.
Just talking to the Pope while he's got his face in the hat?
I imagine like the floating mummy head is probably like his equivalent of a hat.
I was
Yeah,
making a
Felder is
Joseph Smith
definitely
joke.
thinking,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, it's one of those like Feldar. You might not necessarily like recognize the guy, but it's one of those like, oh, he's important.
Yeah, there's something going on here, and do they want us to do something? Like, now she's super curious.
So Dazan's gonna get down, lead you guys down these stairs, and essentially like up to this, just outside of this table that they're at, and she'll kind of recognized by Gab. My lord, the party you requested to meet with, they have arrived. She'll kind of bow and he almost slide back. Geb's gonna kind of hold up a hand and interrupt Cortash, kind of give a pause to the discussion. You'll notice Cortash is just kind of looking at you guys with like this, gives you this almost like a quick curious glance to you guys, but otherwise stands silent. And Geb's gonna kind of float forward a little bit and welcome. I've heard a great deal about you. Oh my. Sildek speaks well of you. And even as he approaches you guys, you feel like the temperature in the room actually drops a few degrees. And looking around, you have to kind of look around a little bit to spot her, but like Dazan's actually like almost stepped back into the shadows at the edge of the room, but doesn't leave just yet. Geb's gonna kind of still floating forward a little bit. Please, step forward. Introduce yourselves. I have a guest. It's impolite otherwise.
Crowley's gonna step forward. Just Crowley of House Sacrafuel. and kind of give a deep bow.
He'll return it. Who's next?
Rodolph will step forward, and he'll give very curt bow. Rodolph Mason, the Builder League, at your service.
Roger will step up behind Rodolph and do the salute with the fist to the chest and do they call me Roger.
Sorry.
And Feldar will sort of motion to Savath to go next, like she really feels like she needs to go last because she's brand new to this group. So
I'll step forward, do the bow, and say, "Sabath Dark Shiv, at your service."
And his eyes will kind of
and
move over to Feldar.
Feldar Shadow Soul, my lord. And she'll bow.
And he'll kind of motion over to... he'll motion over towards Cortash. This, as the sovereign ruler of the ghoul depths of Nemric Noctoria, Cortash came. He's come to us today concerned of whispered rumors. Rumors that suggest potential shortfalls of certain trade exports to his domain from our coffers. He's gonna... you'll see like almost a smirk on his lips. In times as fraught and uncertain as these, tell me, and he's going to kind of look to your group, is it wise to continue to send exports beyond our borders when we may well need these resources ourselves in the future?
It is important to fulfill one's obligations to those we are under contract with. But of course, we cannot help others unless our own house is in order.
And certainly, if the resource we need is ready cash, then perhaps that is more valuable than the items that are being sold.
Rodolph and Feldar, give me diplomacy.
Boy, am I glad I took diplomacy as my daily skill.
Oh yeah, it's also been like 4 days since we started this session, so...
Oh. Oh, I didn't. Do you want me to roll again from the thing?
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
It already shows me the DC, so I can just look down.
Okay.
DC was 26.
Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
Creep right past that, man.
Again, that slight smirk kind of widens a little bit into like a small smile. You'll also see that Cortash is almost taken aback a little bit. Like he expected you guys to absolutely take his side, or to take the king's side. first time any of you guys try to influence him later on, you'll get a +2.
Ooh.
He thinks a little better of you. Cortash, humor me for a few minutes. Yeah. I would like them to share their story. I've been keeping an eye on them for some time. Especially this one. And he'll kind of, like, almost side-eye look at Rodolph.
Just a little bit of a personal roll here.
Mhm.
He keeps a straight face.
If you would be so kind, tell of your adventures so far to our guest. It's not often he gets to meet new bloodlords. Or any, for that matter, but nonetheless.
As you wish. For some time, we have been hunting the perpetrators of a plot against Geb. To wipe out the food supply for the quick of our land and stir unrest against the king. We began by disrupting the efforts of these conspirators in Great Urge and hunted the perpetrators across the land to the coast in Sallow Shore, to the north, down to the Field of Maidens, where we repelled the invaders from the Mwangi Expanse. And then we dispensed with a coven of hags that were complicit in the attempt.
That is quite the adventure. Especially for new bloodlords. While I understand, Feldar, that you might not have traveled with them yet, you have also made quite the name for yourself.
Thank you. I'm quite honored. When I caught up with my friend Roger, I had no idea of the noble work that they had been doing, and I am quite honored to be continuing with them and for you. And she'll do a little bow again.
And he'll kind of look to Cortash. Feldar here's written quite the series of information when dealing with various creatures. Few can rival her knowledge. As for the rest of you, I applaud you for your aggressive diplomatic efforts along the southern border. As new bloodlords, you are given a certain level of latitude above other citizens. The laws still apply to you, mind you. But you will be expected to make frequent trips to the city in a kind of motion around. All bloodlords are afforded accommodations with one of the alcazars of the city. Dizan will show you to your new home while you're here. Additionally, as bloodlords, you will be granted one blood claim. It's a single item of value from my own personal stores of resources and treasure. They will be delivered to your residences by tomorrow morning. It is yours to keep as long as you remain a bloodlord. Should that title be removed, so will the item. I've taken great care in selecting blood claims for each of my lords. Treasure it, care for it, and it will care for you.
Woohoo! Free stuff. Sorry.
So we've talked about this a
I
few
would like
times.
to just clarify that there isn't going to be a brass clockwork lizard with plants growing on him in there, is there?
Nope, that's a totally different universe. Yeah.
Cool. Just checking.
Roger, you can actually check yours. Essentially, these are going to be relic items.
Oh, is this when I get the fancy star knife?
You will eventually. Yep. It is in. If you go to the little briefcase-looking thing, items, relics. There's one in there for each of you. You won't get them today. But once you guys go and deal with your residents, we'll get to that here in a second. And he's going to motion over for Dazan. You've heard? Yes, my lord. I will lead them there directly. And he'll nod. And he'll start to turn back towards Cortash and then almost stop from like halfway through the turn and turn back. You know, as your first official assignment, I would like you to serve as Cortash Kane's escort and honor guard throughout the city for the duration of his stay.
As you command, my king.
Consider
And
it
he is going to
a
bow.
show of your skill. You've already established yourself in the fields. Now you'll be dealing with more refined threats.
As Rodolph bows, he's going to cast his thoughts to the voice that he has heard in his head, that he now finally suspects floats before him. We know who has directed this conspiracy against you, King. We would speak with you in private to identify them.
And without saying anything, you'll see he kind of raises an eyebrow and wordlessly respond back to you. I presume then you have some proof of this involvement?
Memories taken from the mind of Iron Tavier, the leader of the Hag Coven of which we spoke. We have reason to believe that Seldig can confirm these suspicions.
In your time with Seldig, you've clearly not learned much about keeping unsubstantiated rumors to yourself.
With respect, my king, I have not yet divulged the rumor.
Even to me. Come back when you have something less ephemeral. And he's gonna turn and like float through the table.
And you would know about ephemeral. But
Yeah. Dizan will show you to your new chambers. I will... I'll let you know this. These are not custom built for you. There was a prior resident who is no longer with us. There may be some cleaning involved before you can fully set up your lodgings.
Interesting.
You'll have
Understood,
2
my
days
king.
before I expect you to report. Before you present yourself to Cortash. Cortash Kane. And I'll kind of motion over. This whole time, like, the High Priest does his best to keep a straight face. You do see he's kind of annoyed. He kind of narrowed eyes and tightens his mouth a little bit.
Yeah, because Feldar is thinking, are we babysitters? Like, is this what we've been elevated for?
Yeah, kind of.
Is there something more there that, like, it's a little, I won't say baffling, but she is a little, like, concerned about what exactly we're supposed to be doing. Like, other than keeping him out of trouble.
Give me a sense motive. You get the sense this is meant to be more of a slight against Cortash Kane. Like, he's given the guy an honor guard in the city, but also the very lowest ranked people in the city he can possibly afford to give him without totally disrespecting him.
Okay, I'm a little offended for us, but
You were promoted to Bloodlord literally seconds ago, so
yeah, yeah. It's like we're gonna follow you all around, but I'm gonna give like my 13-year-old babysitter the
Mhm.
job.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, like the 13-year-old. Yeah, she took the CPR classes. I mean, she knows what she's doing, but also
yeah,
13.
but she's also 13,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, you very much get the sense like Cortesh is. This is intended to be a slight against him, like a
Okay.
slap in the face, but also just more like against him directly, not against his entire kingdom.
And not necessarily against us. Like I
Right.
couldn't figure out
Yeah.
like who is supposed to be on the downside of this. But if it's not us, then I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if he didn't think you were worthy, you wouldn't get promoted to Bloodlord.
Right. Right.
Because, yeah.
That just makes it even more awkward for Crowley, who has been uncharacteristically silent during most of this, because his teeth are kind of holding his face in shape right now. If he could still sweat, he would be dripping. This is an incredibly awkward situation. I mean, you've seen him interact with other ghouls. He is not the best relations with his kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he must be like not at all happy that this will be continuing.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like what's his name? The guy who we found out is plotting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If
Can
he
maybe-
was in the room, Crowley would be more comfortable. He is almost shitting his pants right now, just trying to keep a straight face. Like, he does not want to be here.
Mm.
Like Roger is just currently processing his new rank and what that would imply to him.
Yeah.
Cortesh will kind of turn. You'll see him kind of stiffen slightly, like regain control or regain composure, and look to the characters, and he's gonna kind of tap his fingers over the scalp of this mummy corpse, and the voice is gonna speak out in common. Very well. Once you settle into your new accommodations, seek me out at Coffinstone Manor. I wish to get to know my new honor guard and have a few tasks for you myself.
Great. Just great.
Mm-hmm.
Rodolph will bow to Cortesh, bow more deeply to Geb, and turn to follow Dizul.
Dizon. Yep. And yeah, after like Cortesh gives you those last instructions, he's gonna turn back to Geb. They'll drop into like an ancient or Soriani. Soriani, essentially like Old English. Like you can pick out a few words, but it's a lot of these and thous, and yeah.
Getting hit with that Shakespearean.
Yeah, pretty much. They
So much
clearly
contender.
have no more intention to interact with you. If like, once Roloff turns back and Dizon will kind of motion to the rest of the group. Let's go. Yeah, you guys actually impressed Gab.
Woohoo.
Yay.
Walking out of the room, you can actually hear, like, as Crowley kind of stretches his jaw, you hear the teeth pull out of his cheeks. Like they were
Like-
sheathed in there.
once you get back out of the meeting hall and into kind of like the main lobbies, the dogs found or heard somebody at the door. Dazan will. Yeah. Congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
If you have any questions about the city, feel free to ask. Places you may wish to visit, the like. And she's gonna essentially walking and talking as you guys go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Which one are you guys in? Let's see. 2, 4, 6. That's the one where your new apartment's going to be at. So all of these little pyramids circling the... Oh no, it's way over there. I see it now. All these little pyramids are...
Oh, the mortician suite.
Yeah.
Lovely.
These are all Bloodlord, like, apartments or large condos. Or condo towers. So all the Bloodlords live in these pyramids around the center area. But yeah, as you guys, or as she's leading you there, she'll point out a few different shops and things like that. If you want to get different items or potion bottle or potion supplies or spell supplies, she'll kind of point you where to go. She'll also kind of go over like what your roles are in the city as Bloodlords entail. First and foremost, while your position might afford you additional influence, most of the city's residents won't be impressed by your titles immediately. Bloodlords tend to come and go. The populace doesn't grant you full respect until you've established yourselves by completing a task. Lucky for you, you've already been given one. Secondly, Bloodlords are forbidden from direct conflict with one another. You can manipulate and deceive other Bloodlords, but if such machinations become public knowledge, these actions could result in disgrace, exile, or even execution. Final death. Actual combat between Bloodlords often results in the destruction of both offenders. I would advise you avoid such confrontations at all costs.
Are there approved methods for resolving conflict? I find it hard to believe that there aren't times when Bloodlords disagree,
Oh,
perhaps even strongly disagree.
there are a great many times. Officially, it's dealt with through diplomacy. Pacts, deals. Give and take. Unofficially, well, if you're not caught, you didn't do anything wrong.
That's good to know.
The residence you will be taking over is from a previous bloodlord who was executed. I will not lie to you. And she'll like hand over this almost skeleton key. It's informally known as the Mortician's Suite. It's in the upper reaches of the tower. All bloodlords are granted some accommodations in the structure, after all. Yours will be on a lower terrace, facing to the southeast. It's excellent view, and while lower in the tower, it's still a fairly far drop to the ground. I don't advise it. It's been abandoned for several years. There's a necromancer by the name of Zardoon.
Hmm.
He never really distinguished himself among the other bloodlords as anything other than a sycophant. His appointment was due to aristocracy. At least, that's the musings. It was like thought to be as much a clerical error as anything else. He did little to nothing to advance society in Geb as a whole. Even after securing his position, posted the Alcazar, he rarely left his chambers and kept to himself. Claimed to spend his time researching more efficient methods for autopsy and preparations of dead bodies for bespoke animations. She'll kind of air quotes. Requires a corpse to be altered in unusual ways before it was granted the gift of undeath.
He didn't leave corpses behind, did he? I mean, when you say there's cleaning to be done, I certainly hope decomposing bodies aren't on the list of things to be thrown out.
Oh, I have no idea. No one's been in since he was
Oh.
executed.
Charming. Okay.
Basically, it's your manor all over again. Yeah.
Yeah. So will we have attendants, servants to assist in keeping everything shipshape? Or do we need to ask Argoon the Annihilator to come from our home in Great Urge?
You can have whatever attendants you can hire. As a bloodlord, you are also self-sufficient. You are given the residence and expected to maintain court, but otherwise you're on your own.
This will not be a problem, thank you.
Zardoon was executed almost a year ago. There's no possibility of his animation. He was implicated as a Nexian sympathizer.
And you will not be missed.
Yes. Unfortunately, those reports were confirmed false shortly after his death, but such is the life of a bloodlord.
How unfortunate.
And yeah, she'll hand over this key, and it's got like this large kind of flattened skeleton head along the handle, and these almost the teeth of this key are like teeth that have been set into a rod.
Charming.
Mm-hmm. As no one has been in here since his death, you do have the right of salvage. You can keep anything you find. It is your residence. Zardun left no will. There will be no one coming for his possessions.
Well, that is a bonus, I suppose.
And by the time you guys gotta get up here, she's been leading you through town and whatnot. I'll say the conversation and her leading you here. It's getting up on 10 p.m. The suite has actually 3 entrances. There's the 2 at terrace level that you guys can almost kind of see, like right around the corner. There's one here and one here. And you would have seen it on your walk up, but you don't quite see it right now. There's actually a balcony. There is a balcony that overlooks the terrace you guys are standing on. Yep. Way over here. There's a little balcony about 15 feet up. Like 10, 15 feet up off the terrace that you guys are walking around on. Oh, that reminds me. There's no rail on this terrace. It's 80 feet to the ground.
Can I have feather fall?
Yeah, we
fall.
don't invite people we don't like
Yes.
to parties on the balcony, I think is
yeah.
Yep.
Wrong. We only invite people we
Or
don't like to
do.
those parties.
Or
Yeah,
do, yes.
Yeah,
I
do, yeah. Yeah.
Goblin Sparta kicking somebody off the side.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's the 2 main
Just
doors.
gets him in the shin.
And then like the taller people in the group, you'd be able to kind of, with like a little bit of a hop, you'd be able to see up on this patio. There's a or this little balcony. There's a little door back there too. But
So since nobody's been in this thing
Mhm.
for a year, do we know if there's traps?
no one knows anything about what's in here. She gave you the key. She gave you the keys to the front doors.
Gave us the keys and said, off you go, clean it up yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rodolph will take the key and he will unlock this door.
15-foot wide terrace wraps around the Alcazar southeast corner. Steep slopes of the stony structure falls away, while the view beyond affords a sweeping panorama of Mekatar. 2 reinforced doors set into the walls at the corners afford entrance to the suite on either side of an alcove. And then in this alcove, there's a little mummified sentinel. Not animated, it's just a statue.
Cool.
But you guys have the key, so I'll unlock those doors. No railings run along the edge of the terrace, while the terrace is wide enough that normally the characters don't need to worry about slipping and falling. It's a DC 25 reflex to grab an edge if you fall. Or fall off.
Oh.
Yeah. Not terribly hard for your guys' level.
Oh.
I think
Already
that's
like
like
the look of it.
Savath has to roll a 2 to grab an edge on here.
Yeah. I, on the other
Watch me
hand,
roll a 1.
Yeah.
And re-roll into a 1.
The suite interior.
yeah,
The
with my
suite-
0 acrobatics.
The suite has no interior lighting, bare stone floors, 15-foot high ceiling, except as noted. And as you open the door, it's got this kind of stale, dry, unpleasant air, but it's breathable.
Well, I think first thing we need to open all the windows. Get some fresh air in here. Oh, does it come with a dinosaur skeleton?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Walking into this front room, a thick layer of dust coats everything in this chamber, including a long V-shaped stone table, has 8 high-back chairs. There's shelves filled with books and eccentric art objects lining a few of the walls. There's a long workbench placed against the northeast wall. What else do we got? An alcove to the northwest contains some type of like mummified batwing creature. Its arms are crossed over its chest. The most eye-catching feature in this room is the 20-foot tall, fully articulated fossil skeleton of a towering bipedal dinosaur standing in the room's center.
I like his
Well, obviously,
aesthetic.
we got to keep Steve.
Yeah. Oh, is it
Or maybe we could-
actually a golem? Or is that just
It's just the image they gave me.
because wasn't
Can we-
that what
can we
the thing
reanimate
was in the conservatory thing that we fought?
It
That a
was.
Triceratops, but yeah. So Rodolph just spends a couple minutes staring at this thing, unmoving.
Let's see. The bat thing is unusually large. It's 12 feet tall. Let's see here.
Something creatures of unusual sizes.
Cotton stuffed man bat.
Man.
Feldar.
And how you going to do that to Robert Langstrom?
Feldar, as you kind of you're heading around, you see here. I guess everyone give me a perception check.
Damn it.
Sure. Eh.
So Crowley does not notice it. Crowley's too enthralled by this gigantic fossil golem, or this fossil skeleton. Now I got me saying it on the picture. Rodolph, you absolutely notice, like, right up over here. There's like a spy hole in the upper part of the wall. And you're pretty sure there's probably like a secret door of some kind over there. Savath and Feldar would also notice it too, especially as you're kind of looking around, or moving around.
Hmm.
Look, guys, I'm riding the dinosaur.
Woohoo.
The path's goal is now to have a skeletal T-Rex mount. Haha, I am now taller than all of you.
How high up is this spy hole?
You said 15 feet?
No, the ceilings are 15 feet. This spy hole, there's. I'd say this spy hole is probably like 3.5 feet. You might have to stand on your toes to be able to see through it.
Rodolph is going to take the zombie staff and just kind of tap the spot he's noticed. Seems that we have some hidden passages in our new home.
Can I look specifically for hidden doors?
She is. Let's see here.
Like to carefully go along each wall,
Mhm.
pressing. feeling for seams, that sort of thing.
Let me see here. Let me read this.
Like, for example, what is this right here?
That's that bat statue thing.
Oh, that's the bat thing. Okay. Oh, yeah, once I zoom in.
Give me a nature recall knowledge.
Nature
Or
recall
just like
knowledge.
a recall knowledge. Feldon.
Okay.
Nature's the best one, unless you've got something very specific to this. You should be able to hit your actions macro, and there's like a recall knowledge.
There we go. Oh, I can, hold on. I think that I can, with a -2,
Diverse
use
lore.
my esoteric lore instead.
It actually gives me that on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for recall knowledge, it gives like the primary skills. It also gives like your lore skills, and then because you have diverse lore, it shows that in there.
Okay, cool.
Do you want to use your diverse lore? Up to you.
Hold on, I have to quick see which is better.
You take a -2 penalty to your recall knowledge.
So that would
check
be a
with esoteric.
19 versus nature is a 17. So yeah, I'll take the diverse lore.
Okay. When you succeed on your check with an exploit. Okay. Yeah, so this thing, you're able to figure this thing. It's like the fact that where'd it go? The specimen's unusually large. It's about 12 feet tall for that statue. You recognize it's essentially something called like a night giant, a Sabason.
Mm-hmm.
Some Sabason cultures, or it's a creature from Sabason cultures called a night giant. It's often seen as like incarnations of vengeful ancient spirits. This one's actually like not only really well preserved, you're pretty sure this thing's actually a hazard. Like, this thing is like a major trap.
Oh.
And it, like, you see, like, it's got its arms kind of up and, like, I'm trying to think. I'm picturing it as kind of like the winged creatures from Beastmaster. Remember that old movie?
Oh God, with what's his name? With the the blonde dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm picturing kind of like that. And its head is kind of like turned and tilted a little bit, almost looking towards or looking in the direction of the double doors up just to the north of you guys.
Knew there was traps.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Traps. All kinds of traps.
Is trap disarming a skill?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Probably
have it.
one I don't have, but
it has to do with thievery, I think. Jumping back over to Rodolph. You're kind of, you said you're kind of like trying to find like a way to open this thing, right?
Yeah, pointed it out to everybody, and now I'm just examining it.
Okay.
See if it's just more than just a peephole.
The glory hole.
Oh, at 3.5 feet high.
I mean, he's 3'1", but it's still just like a tap, tap, tap,
yeah.
tap, tink. And you'll tap on like you'll be tapping along, and you'll find like one of those bricks that just sounds wrong. And about the time that you do, you go pink. That statue is going to like the skeletal statue is going to. You'll hear as the bones kind of clink, and it'll turn and it'll roar at you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Watch, watch, watch!
And you guys are going to go into combat.
Oh.
God damn it. I don't want to kill my estranged cousin.
If you guys want to give initiative.
I don't wanna.
Okay.
Oh my god, I didn't roll last.
Oh wow, the golem is last.
Shocking. Oh, god damn it. Ugh.
What?
I knew that was the bad guy from the last time.
Can I make a note of saying no shit game? No fucking shit.
Yeah,
Crowley, are you intimidating or
I
raging?
did.
I'm raging.
Okay,
I'm not intimidating the skeletal construct.
that's true. You're not. Yeah. Ron,
Um,
as part of your initiative roll, you have Slayer's identification. Work on this thing. Let me see. No.
Which is the no shit part of my observation.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a recall knowledge if you want. It's a free action. It's part of your initiative.
Any particular recall knowledge, or is it just?
There should be a button in your actions macro for it.
Slayer's identification.
No, if you have your token, you press the very first macro button on your bar. The little double diamond looking thing. Or square and square.
Yep.
Under encounters, I think it's the middle column. There's a button that just says recall knowledge. It has no bonus after it.
Recall. No.
I think they're alphabetical. Yeah.
They are, which is why I'm like,
Towards the bottom.
counter. Yeah, found it.
There we go.
I didn't know what I rolled.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, because it's a secret check. Let me look here. So, yeah, this is a fossil golem. You guys have fought one before. Well, you haven't. The rest of the group has. It's a construct. It's not undead.
Oh, okay.
It is a golem. It is mindless. This thing is level 12. I'll give you as a construct. It's got a whole slew of immunities: acid, bleed, death effects, disease, doom, drain, fatigue, healing, mental. Because it's mindless, mental, non-physical attack or non-lethal attacks. Sorry, paralyzed, poisoned, sickened. It's a golem, so it's immune to spirit, unconscious, vitality, void. One other thing you want to know about it.
Does it have any weak spots that we can target? Because its size, I'm hoping there's a glowy point that I can hit.
No major weaknesses on its own. The rest of the group's fought one of these before. It does have resistance to physical weapons. Resist 10 physical, except for adamantine and bludgeoning, specifically.
Okay.
It is vulnerable to the stone to flesh spell.
Okay.
Stone to flesh negates the golem's anti-magic and its resistance to physical damage. Yeah, stone to flesh will stop its physical resistance for 1 round. 1 round? That seems short. I'll say a minute. It'll stop it for the combat. Yeah.
My scythe is not getting used this battle.
Okay. We'll kick this up. Beginning Hunter. Dun, 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 dun. Crowley.
All right. So I looked up and apparently did not take Titan Wrestler. So I'm going to be doing the very straightforward thing of attacking it a whole bunch.
Okay.
Let's make sure I don't have anything. Yeah. All right. So. I targeting? No, I'm not. Now I am.
That is a hit.
Oof.
Because you guys are flanking it.
All right, and ooh,
Oh, good damage. It takes 29 because of that resistance. Also unaffected by bleed. It's a miss.
oof, and third thingy. Miss. Yep. Okay, well that's his turn.
Can you even spot that? I gotta check something real quick. Okay. Savath.
Again.
You're throwing. Is.
I should have just taken that first one. I just didn't have targeting, so I hit the reroll.
Yeah.
But
Well, the first one's a miss.
that was the second one I missed too. Damn.
After map, yeah, and also before map, yeah. Because you're
Okay.
throwing it. If you were closer, you'd be able to hit.
Can it take void damage,
Nope.
or is it immune to void?
Immune to void.
Okay. That's a mess. Yay me. Well, that's all three. Yeah.
You guys should be able to double click on it. You can see the information you found on it so far.
A double click, it ain't doing anything for me.
Hmm. Let me do this. Oh, there we go. Because for whatever reason, it was listed in the wrong one.
I got nothing but question marks. Cool.
Hold on, hold on. I had to remove it and add it back. And you guys have fought this before. So you know a bunch of this stuff already. That looks pretty good. Oh, and no spells.
Just don't kill Rodolph again.
Speaking of, Rodolph.
First thing I want to do is find the off switch. He figures if there was a activation to turn this thing on, maybe there's a way to disarm this thing.
Hmm.
I mean, I do have pretty good for disarm trap. If it comes to that. Maybe for once I'll get to use rogue things.
Give me a crafting check. Out of a knowledge, crafting knowledge. Either crafting or
Can I use architecture?
Yeah. What else would apply?
Okay, thank God, because I don't have crafting anymore.
I have crafting.
I would also allow like an occultism
That I don't.
Perfect.
or arcana.
Yeah, we'll go with
Definitely don't have
occultism.
that.
Okay. 39. Okay. Golems typically have, like, there's usually some way to control them, either a physical object or, like, command words. Looking around real quick, like, it'd be reasonable. There's probably, like, if there's a control rod for it, probably not put it in the same room as the item or as the golem. Like, if you've got it set up as a security sentinel, you wouldn't put you wouldn't put it in there.
So it's probably behind that wall or something.
Behind the wall, behind the door. It's if there's
And
a
there's a door.
if there's a physical control rod, it's elsewhere. Alternatively, there's command words, but you don't know what language it would be. You don't know what the word would be. You'd basically be opening up a dictionary and reading through it, hoping.
I mean, dictionary text works sometimes.
But you would pick up, it's like, okay, if this thing's set up as a guard, if we leave this room, probably won't follow us out of the room. Or at least, like, out of the apartment. Otherwise, it would have gone on a rampage and killed people outside. Who knows?
This,
I mean, it
this
probably
spy
can't fit
hole,
through that door by Rodolph.
Can I discern that there's an actual door here, not just a peephole?
Oh, yeah, there's an actual door. Like, you found the key button.
Okay.
Part of the same action. If you wanted to, I'd even let you open it.
Yeah, absolutely. Rodolph opens the door, and he calls out, "It won't follow us if we leave the room. Through this door. Now!" And he is going to move down the hall here.
Yeah, you see it kind of goes down and it continues on around the corner.
Do I have any single action things? What in the hell is this?
Gravitational pull. Pull it towards you. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I don't think I could reach it from here with the single action. Where did this come from?
What's that?
Mesmerizing melody.
Spell?
It's under my actions tab. I don't know where this comes from.
Melody on the wings is an item? Where did that come from?
I can't find anything in my inventory that
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm just gonna leave that.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later.
Okay, I think that's my turn. I'm just gonna hold there.
I wonder if I was playing around with a character and I accidentally dropped that on yours.
Maybe. Oh, wait. I'm not going to hold there specifically because I remember the last golem doubled its
He's
reach
got a
like
lot of
30 feet.
reach.
So yeah, I'm gonna get out of sight and then hold there.
Yeah, reassemble is on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have seen that one before. Feldar!
Okay. I do kind of want to run away, but also I want to, use my new skills.
You guys are like a level or two higher this time, so it's not nearly as
Yeah.
deadly. It's still kind of dangerous, but
Yeah. So I am going to use my skill. Oh, side note, and I don't know how to mark this for later. I have a feat that lets me build a link between me and a spellcaster where I can cast I can't cast spells, but I could use thaumaturge abilities that have a range of touch from 30 feet away on that spellcaster, but more importantly, that spellcaster can do stuff within touch of me if they're 30 feet away. So just FYI, I don't know how that's
Yeah.
paired link.
paired link.
So I don't know how, like, presumably Rodolph and I, maybe not yet, at some point we would work out something where if he has anything that has a distance of touch, that he could cast it through, essentially through me.
Oh, so
rather
if
than
you're
actually-
if you're in melee of my target and I'm 30 feet away, I can cast a touch spell on it through you.
Correct.
As long as you're
Okay.
within 30 feet of her.
Yeah, you have to be within 30 feet of me. But if I'm within touch of whatever you want to cast the spell on, you can do that.
God.
Kind of like the familiars in Wizards D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, since there's only one real spellcaster on the party, I just got assume you probably gave it to Rodolph.
Yeah. If I had been the kind of thaumaturge that could cast spells, then it does work the other way as well. But for the things I've chosen, that's not as helpful. But anyway. Okay, so exploit vulnerability, which is the thing what I do. So wait, why didn't it roll?
While you're holding your thingy,
Right, and I
Esoterica,
used, and it used it up. Did
Hold on.
that do it? No.
Let me read it so I can see how it's supposed to work. Favorite object. You can see attempt an esoteric lore check against a standard DC for its level.
Okay, so I will do an esoteric lore check.
DC 30.
Haha!
Hey,
41
Ooh.
crit success.
Crit success.
So
So basically,
mechanically, this
I
thing
mean,
doesn't have any
not that
weaknesses.
Roger already got
But-
all that stuff,
Yeah.
but
You do remember, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I remember, like, fossil golems, they don't have any real weaknesses, but they really hate this one thing. So you kind of like reach around in your bag, you grab it, and you pull out. What do you pull out?
okay, so what is the thing? So it's not a weakness, right? So I think that means that I have to
Um,
use the
You learn all the creature's
antici-
resistances, weaknesses, immunities. I gave you those, including the amounts of
so,
resistances.
so
and
none of
immunities
them
available.
are technically a weakness, right?
Right. It doesn't have any mechanical weaknesses.
Okay, so
Including the
use it-
amounts.
activate
you got
the highest
those.
weakness you discovered. So I improvise one.
You do your personal antithesis.
So I pull out
Oh, you can
a
explain.
tiny hammer and brush, just like an archaeologist,
Okay.
and I go, "Ha ha! I will uncover you," and that allows me to add like half my level plus something. Hopefully, it'll figure itself out.
You're using your Kopesh.
Yes.
So Kopesh, does it ask you?
Let's see. Oh, shoot.
Which implements empowerment?
Oh, if I shift click, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Modifier. Weapon potency, expert, circumstance.
Personal antithesis.
Personal antithesis is 2 plus half my level. So that's 7. So I guess I would add +7 as a circumstance bonus. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see it. Click. There we go. Okay, clicked that. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
It should go up now.
And then yes, weapon implement empowerment, it gave me that. Yes. So that's 18 damage.
Any unusual weaknesses you figure out. You can exploit creatures mortal. Doesn't have it. Personal antithesis. Exploit vulnerable.
And I
class
can't
features.
share it because it isn't their mortal weakness. It's the personal antithesis.
Mhm.
So I guess I'll just hit again. Well, why not? Oh wait, no.
I'm adding it. Takes 10 more.
Okay. Yeah, because it is as if it were magical as well. So if magical bypasses, then oh, it
Mm,
says it's magical. So
Mhm.
it does come up
it does have
tagged
magical, but it's not adamantine.
proper.
That's what it was.
See, now this is the thing I don't
Because adamantine's
get.
material, so it's weird. Exploit
So I
vulnerabilities.
can't pretend that it's adamantine for the purpose of like the mortal weakness. Because if something bypasses damage reduction, is that a weakness? I guess technically
No,
it's
it's
not.
different.
Okay, then we won't worry about it. That's fine.
I'm still gonna take off the -10.
Okay.
Because personal antithesis, for instance, against tyrant.
And I
broken
can't
chain,
do
self-attack.
this in the same round. So I guess I'll just hit it again since I happen to be right here.
2 plus half your level.
And
Also a hit.
that's would that be a crit if it was 40? Because I have the +7 still.
That's +7 to your damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold on.
This causes the target creature and only the target creature gain a weakness against your unarmed or weaker strikes.
Weakness,
equal to
your
half your
unarmed
level.
strikes. See, I had assumed that was to the strike, not to the
No, it's to the damage.
damage.
Weaknesses and resistances apply to the damage.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I guess I'll
So-
add. You're using a Kopesh. Well, no, it's because it's to yours, not to everyone, is it? Then you've got share
Oh,
weakness.
I could have tried to trip it too, I guess. But yeah, whatever.
Oh, but you're not using mortal weakness. Okay, so you can't share.
No. Okay, so damage. This gets the +7. So that's. Yeah, see, you get the 7 plus the implement's empowerment, which is +4.
I don't know. It's weird. Thaumaturges are weird.
Yeah, see,
I don't think it's implements empowerment. However, it can be turned into the most common tasks. it's power adding
Yeah,
to
so
and
that's
amplifying
definitely to
wounds.
damage.
When you
Like that's
strike, you can
just an
trace-
extra
Oh,
for
implements empowerment is a separate thing, I think.
Yes, yes it is. That's what
Okay.
I'm asking is that's why I thought the personal antithesis thing was to strike and the implements empowerment was the damage
Yeah.
part of it. But I guess you get both? That seems really
So yeah, you have to like be using just that in one hand and nothing.
Yeah, like you have to
Nothing
have like
but
your weapon
one-handed
in one and
weapons.
your implement in the other, and then you can use implements.
Yeah, I've
empowerment.
got my tome in one hand and my Kopesh in the other.
When you strike, you can trace. Okay, but it doesn't say if it's. I guess it's a free action to do the thingy. I'm assuming you do the thingy. You draw
Like
the
once I've
runes.
done the thingy, then
Mm-hmm.
that like stays. It says frequency once per round.
Mhm.
Do I have to do it each round?
You don't gain
But
the
then-
because it'd be a free action, so you're only fighting one target. So I'm assuming you automatically do it. It's if you had multiple targets, you can only empower one.
Okay. Yeah, because the what do they call it? Intensify vulnerability. You can only do it if you haven't done the exploit vulnerability that round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like the empowerment's like, yeah, it's just it's almost like a stance thing. Like as long as you're holding,
Yeah, I'm reading it
weapons in a
yeah,
certain way.
It's essentially like a free action you can take against one creature once around.
And he says this power the strike.
Okay, I'll just have to remember to like add in like an extra 7 damage or whatever it is. 7.
I guess because the initial exploit vulnerability only target creature and only the target creature to gain a weakness. So I guess that how much that change is depends on which thing you choose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't think it can do it automatically. Because
Probably.
you can, even if you get the mortal weakness, you can choose the other one if it's better. So
I'm just
so for now, I
manually.
guess
I'm just gonna manually take away the damage for now.
Yeah. Okay,
Like-
but for some reason it healed the fossil golem instead of applying the damage.
Oh no, it's because I subtracted too much, so I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay, so it takes 22 damage. And hopefully we won't have to have this discussion ever
Good
again.
grief.
'Cause
Yes.
I'll never forget how we just did this.
2 weeks from now, I give it 2 weeks.
Yes, in 2 weeks I will have completely forgotten. But the good news
15
is,
plus 7.
for Roger and Crowley, if I do manage to get a mortal weakness, then I can share it with you, and you get the extra damage too.
Mhm.
Because this class is completely broken.
It's this is like the one class that even on Foundry is just what?
Yeah. Oh, and I have like defensive stuff too that I'm
Yeah.
not even worrying about for right now. Because like if I succeed in a strike, then I get an AC bonus. It's
It gets-
craziness.
Yeah, so essentially I'm gonna add we're gonna do weapon damage like normal, and then I'm just gonna take an extra 7 for your personal antithesis.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I think you're right. I think it's 15 minus 10 plus 7. I think that's actually the way it works.
Yeah, it is.
Is it resistances first and then weaknesses, or weaknesses then resistance?
I think it does.
Because that does matter. Roger, it's your turn.
It's like
Well,
it's not
well,
multiplicative.
No, it's not, but
It's like-
you can reduce damage to 0 and then add a weakness on top of it.
Ah,
yes. Yeah,
Either
there
way,
is
it's not a problem
an order
yet.
of
We'll figure it out.
operations. I just don't know what it is.
Yes. Roger, it's your turn. There's a giant fossil T-Rex in front of you.
So we've gone from the most difficult character class to the simplest.
Yes.
I would like to draw my hammer as an action because I have my scythe, annoyingly.
Mhm.
Draw the shield.
Mhm.
Smacked with hammer.
Okay. Action 1, action 2, action 3. Bunk.
Boom.
That's a hit.
And Rodolph is going, why the hell aren't they following me?
17 damage.
Because we don't get
'Cause
one
I haven't had
shot.
my time to go yet.
Because there is, in fact, a dinosaur between me and him. That
Yeah.
is my turn.
That brings up the fossil golem. Okay.
People that can get one shot are definitely running.
Good grief.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as it's my turn again.
Yeah. The bite-sized characters.
Fossil golem. Okay, who's dealt the most damage to this thing? Feldar has. It doesn't have to move, so that's good.
Hooray, distraction.
It's gonna try to bite Feldar. Does a 38 hit? God.
I suspect it does.
But I'm going to say no.
21 damage to Feldar.
Okay.
Can you give me a fortitude save, please?
Sure.
I think you can actually
Yeah,
hit the
yeah.
button right there in chat. There's a
Oh,
little
look
tiny
at
button
that.
there. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I think I'll be re-rolling that.
Reasonable.
Can I...
Oh, if you left click on it. It's a little weird on this one. If you left click, it'll give you a little pop up.
Whoops. Wait, no. What? I think that just...
There we go. Success.
Okay.
What's the success do? Nothing. Okay, you're good.
Probably not half
Immediate
damage
death.
or something.
I did something. No, on a
Ah.
success, it is nothing. Yeah. The first time each round a creature takes damage from the fossil golem's jaws, it must attempt a fortitude save. If it fails, and it has not already been slowed by this ability, it becomes slowed 1 for a minute. If the
Yes.
creature was already slowed, it becomes petrified permanently. So another petrification monster. Joy.
Oh, well, okay. I just... Another thing I have, but we'll get to that.
Grapple? You know, it's not going to yet. It's going to bite you again.
Okay.
How much are just going, I rewrite your character sheet.
Pretty much. 22.
Yeah,
Hey.
whatever.
And I feel like it should have a tail whip, but it doesn't. Oh well. Bite one more time, I guess. Yay! Ah. Crowley.
All right. Well,
Why is there only 5 rounds left in your rage? Oh, because you activated too soon, huh?
ah,
Oh, because I hadn't hit the combat button. That's why.
all right. Well, I'm gonna do the thing I do. And actually, no, my punch is kind of garbage. I think even with the resistance, just with the higher dice size, it actually is better to just use the antlers. So, hey.
Nice.
Oh wait, I don't have Mighty Rage, so that would, shit.
Wouldn't you? Because it's your.
That's like the first
Your very
attack.
first attack of your turn.
Oh, of my turn, not just of the combat. Okay.
Oh no, it is of the combat, isn't it? Did it skip you? No, you already had the combat. Okay.
Yeah, because I hit it before the last
yeah,
time. I rolled like almost max on there, so that would be like, what, 4 less?
something like that.
Mighty Rage.
There we go. That's how many it had. Okay. How long is Mighty Rage? I think it's, yeah, it might just be the very first one. In addition, when you use Quick Temper, the first strike you make during your first turn deals extra damage.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, yeah, so I got that off now. That's equal to my rage, so I guess it just kind of cuts.
No, it doubles your, yeah, it doubles it. So I'll do this,
5.
and then I'll add 5 back.
All right. So I'm going to do it again.
Okay. Ah!
Well,
And a miss.
nope. Okay. Well, I hit it once.
Sameth!
Let's see how far is this? Here. Then see if I can make this happen from here.
30?
Where'd it go? There it is.
Next feat, taking Titan Wrestler.
That's a hit.
Nice.
It takes 5. Just piercing.
I'm pretty sure that's my turn.
Ran over.
Move once.
Shot
throw.
at it. You get one more action.
Okay.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
the map.
You have one more action. It's just map.
Well,
Nope.
nothing.
Just a crit miss. Just barely a crit miss. Rolled off.
Rodolph calls over his shoulder, "Why are you fighting our guard dog? Get out of there!" And he is going to head further down the hall. 15, 25.
That's a cool room.
So you get back here, and there's this lone desk sitting in the corner of the room. On the opposite, there's a long row of shelves with books and scrolls. The wall to the southwest is decorated with what looks to be several movable metal slats placed at eye level.
Oh, it's a puzzle.
Do I see anything that looks like it might control the fossil?
Perception? Like a seek?
That's right there. Hero point.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
That's better.
37. Much better. Giving a quick look around. Let's see. Looking around, the books that are in here look to be a lot of just kind of mediocre works of fiction. Lots of cats in the title and in the subjects.
We're gonna
Nothing
find
jumps
out
out
that
as
is Mr. Whiskers.
nothing jumps out as magical control rod.
What the hell is the point of this room?
Well, the slidey things have to be something.
Rodolph will move to the southwest wall and start adjusting these slats.
So these slats you can lift up, and they reveal hidden peepholes into different
Yeah.
rooms.
Yep. Are these magical? Are they all looking into the room with the dinosaur, or
Oh
are
no,
they
they're different rooms
looking into
inside the
separate rooms?
place. Yeah,
Okay.
You found the security console.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Like there's one that like looks over either of the front doors. There's the one that like looks from the front doors over this room or over the entry. Um, yeah.
Okay, looking in these peepholes, do I see anything resembling a fossil control device?
Uh, a lot of these rooms, and like you lift up the peephole, and it's pitch black.
Motherfucker.
Either you're pretty sure it's transmitting, but there's just no light in there.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I'll do is go to this desk and start rifling through it, see if I can find anything in there that will help this situation.
Okay. It'll take a little bit, but on like a real quick, there's nothing that really jumps out specifically. It's like, nope. Counting Monte Cristo, nope. I'm trying to think of a cat book. I don't know.
Cat in the Hat.
Aristocrats. Nope. Aristocats.
Aristocats.
Yeah. Screenplay for the Aristocats. Nope. There's another one that seems just like a stage play, just cats.
Rodolph will end his turn shouting out, "Stop breaking our security system! Find the control!"
Feldar. I think I gave you an extra action in there, but well, whatever.
Okay. I'm gonna move to here
Mhm.
to try to sort of get on my way out. But so conveniently, I have a different feat, which allows me to, if there is a resistance that can be bypassed,
Mhm.
I can choose that as the weakness that I'm exploiting, essentially.
Ah,
So instead of -10 plus 7, we can just get rid of
a minus
the
10.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
is that? Sympathetic
then,
vulnerabilities or something? No, I don't know.
breach defenses.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So
You can choose to exploit that benefit instead of one of the usual two
instead
benefits.
of
Okay.
one of the other.
Yeah. So
So
you're
since that's 10 points instead of 7,
Mhm.
I'm going to choose that one.
and
Uh,
I think that means you can share it.
I think I can only share if, let's see, share weakness. Exploit vulnerability, mortal weakness. I think I can only,
Oh, using mortal weakness. Never mind. Okay.
yeah, I think it only works for mortal
Yeah.
weakness.
Okay.
There might be a later one that lets me share like any of them,
Mhm.
but yeah. Okay. So it's still targeted. So boop.
That's a hit.
Ugh. So it takes 11. And then I'm going to swap to the chalice. And try using that.
All right.
I'm going to
Sip or drain.
drain. So let's see if it gives me a choice. Okay.
Oh wait. Not that one. That one.
That one. Okay. Awesome.
What's the effect? Oh, the effect is for the temp, so don't apply the effect.
Yeah, I just get 3 hit points for each level.
Mhm.
So, okay. So that is my turn. I'm coming. I'm coming.
All right, now. Okay, so you can't drain it again for 10 minutes.
Right. Although people can still sip from it for temp hit points.
Yes, Roger.
If anyone close enough to do that.
Roger.
No.
Hello.
Nate?
I can hear you now.
I can't move through him, can I?
You can tumble through.
Stuff that.
Just 2 sizes larger. Does that?
Stream the electrical life of Louis Wayne.
So
Be
go through.
Insurance here on Channel 4 next Saturday at 8:30.
Let me look. Nope, that's Amazon. Moving through a creature's space. You can move through the space of a willing creature. If you want to move through an unwilling creature, you can tumble through. Can't end your turn in there. Though you can end a move action in its square, provided you are immediately use another action to leave that square. If two creatures, blah.
Well, it would have to be gargantuan.
Creatures of different sizes. Yeah. 3 sizes larger. I mean, I can make it bigger.
Right, I'll go round. I'll go. I don't mind walking. It's fine.
You sure? I can make it bigger.
No thanks.
Yeah, I'm sure. 15 foot. And another 15 foot to there. That's one move.
I mean, your tumble through
Damn
is a +3. I think you can make it.
I probably could, but I'm not gonna gamble on that shit. I did leave its standard immediate range. Do I get swatted in the face?
That's the thing about reactive strike is if you stride at all inside of its reach, it gets to make a sweep, and that's even with yours. It does not,
Yeah, okay.
and it can't because it doesn't have reactive strike.
Duly noted.
Oh, so even that little shift I took would have.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You can step.
Anything-
You can move like 1
Well-
square per action, and you're fine. If you move like 2 or 3 squares in an action, oh yeah, that's a reactive strike.
Okay. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. It's like Pathfinder, or it's like a 5e Sentinel. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're
Yeah.
just leaving. If you leave that square, they smack you.
Gotcha.
Great thing about reach weapons. If something finishes a stride and gets within your range, you can still hit it. It's
Mhm.
basically holding a spear facing it and being like, okay, you ran into a spear. Good job.
Bink.
I don't suppose there's an obvious control rod on that table right next to me, is there?
Nope.
Damn it.
And this thing has like stupid reach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
its reach is like 25 or something ridiculous.
Right now
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
15, but it can reassemble and make it 25.
Sweet Jesus. I can't withhold actions in Pathfinder, can I?
No, you can ready actions and you can aid. You still have 2 more actions.
That's why I'm like, I can't do it. It's either just
Just
full on
keep
just
going,
aid.
man.
You could either keep
Alright.
going.
It's
You can
fine.
raise a shield, give you a +2 AC.
I mean, I can. Yeah, I raise my shield because that's an action and then another move.
Yeah, I have plenty of hit points. Like, I'm not.
I'm not used to
I'm
having
not worried
teammates that
about
can take hits.
Or Pathfinder, where it's not so much don't get hit, it's don't get crit.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I have 140 hit points now, so it's fine.
And that's as far as I can
151,
go because I can't see beyond that point.
Mm-hmm.
I am blind now.
Mm-hmm. You can make out a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
What was that? 5, 10.
I'm pretty sure I could just yoink Feldspar, just go Feldor and just go.
You could. I was just gonna like pop out my horse and jump on it next turn. So
That
whatever
is
works.
movement.
Crowley, have you done any damage to this thing?
Yeah, I did like over 10. It was something like that. The first time I did like 20 something, and then I did like 11, somewhere 11 to 13.
Hmm.
I've hit it once each turn.
The horse is a large creature, right?
I think so.
How far are you planning to get on that thing inside this house?
Skeletal horse is large.
I guess it is large. Then I'll just run. It's fine. I'd
Cool.
forgotten it was large. So it's not going to
I'll
fit in the
put-
hallway anyway.
I think I'm gonna split down the other hallway next time I have a turn and see if there's something over there.
Yeah, I was just gonna go through the door.
It's
Remember
gonna-
the other hazard.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna try to grapple Feldar and it's like try to bite into you with its jaws and miss. Like you're able to
Oh,
kind of get
well.
out of the way.
Yeah, use my little archaeology brush. Nee, nee, go away, go away.
So it's gonna try to bite you.
Just spray it with the dust you brushed off of it earlier.
And bite you.
Fair.
Just missed on all of them. Crowley.
Yeah, my AC is kind of stupid, but you know,
he's also
whatever.
bloodied. He's bloodied. Yeah.
Yes.
Crowley.
Rodolph does make a good point, though, that this is, you know, our security system, so we don't want to totally break it. And I'll shout out, "Don't worry, I can heal it later."
I'm guessing the mailman's here.
If you turn it off, you just see like Savath with some like basically concrete mix just kind of brushing in the cracks. Yeah, of crafting.
I guess they get that like wall filler.
I mean, I do have a
Backle.
+7 to mudding and taping.
Backle the dinosaur.
Yeah. Or what's
did
that
not use
stuff
them.
you use on cars? Bondo.
Mm-hmm.
Duraglass.
It is still Crowley's turn.
All right. Okay, Crowley's kind of feral right now, and Rodolph's telling us to get out of here. And, okay, I'm gonna roll a D2. So coin. So on a 1, he is going for the doors next to Feldar. On 2, he is going to just step over Savath and keep going into that room.
Oh joy.
2. Okay.
Great, I'm about to get teabagged.
Yep.
Crowley is all limb, so he's just gonna kind of joink. And yeah, I guess considering he has 70-foot movement speed.
Yeah, he's got a crazy move.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2 actions, and you're just Rodolph's gonna just see Crowley just kind of appear behind him, and just go. All right, how do we turn it off? Or it's just like, all right, turn it off. Not even how. And I guess that's his turn because there's not really anything else he can do. He's just a fucking Wendigo in a fanfic room right now.
Savath.
That is a fanfic in and of itself.
God damn
So
it.
we haven't found anything in this back room for controlling it, correct?
Rodolph has not. Yet. He's only been there in their one action though. Or one turn though.
Okay.
No, just
I'm trying to
watch
decide if
movies.
I should decide if I should head down into there or go through that door to the left. I think I'm just gonna do this. Oh, I can't do that way. Okay.
There's a button on the left side that looks like 2 points with a little squiggly between them. That should automatically set pathfinding, so it'll avoid walls.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm already there now, but
For reference.
I think that's my turn.
All right. Rodolph.
I continue searching the desk and the room at large for any hint of a control rod, of any kind of sequence to deactivate this thing.
So, you're still not going to
This
find
is
it.
where we learned that it's actually the Shrine of the Silver Monkey, and that's what those 3 things on the wall are.
You will find some little folders, some folios that seem to have the rituals for Planar Servitor and Gathering Call.
Gathering call?
So honestly, it lasts for a year. It takes 7 days to cast, and on a success, you form a connection with the sanctuary. So probably here. Any participant in the ritual can dismiss the ritual. When they do, all participants immediately return to the sanctuary from any distance, as long as they're on the same plane as the sanctuary. It's a return spell. A return teleport.
Hearthstone.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as you're on this plane, you can teleport yourself back here.
I feel like that may come in handy and then very quickly cease to be handy for a very specific reason.
I feel like it'll be handy with us having to come back to do court.
Yeah.
When the command word, or when the return word is spoken, all other participants know about it, and each can choose whether or not to return to the sanctuary at that time. So it's one of those, like, as soon as someone activates the return spell, everyone returns.
If they want to.
Yes. And then Planar Servitor is very kind of almost straightforward. You summon a planar entity, specifically a servitor, which is like a celestial being, and
not a lobotomized being.
Nope.
Good. Much preferable. What we're used to.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay. So he spends a while.
It's a crazy high summoning spell.
He spends a while looking through all of these things, finds these things, tucks them away for later study. And when he does not turn up anything immediately useful,
Yeah,
he
you
lets
very
out a
much get
little
the sense
growl.
there's not a control rod in here.
Yeah, he lets out a little growl. It will deactivate as soon as all of you get the fuck out of there.
I'll also note that, like, the book collection, it'll give you a +2 item checks to make recall knowledge on like positive, negative
caps?
energy, creation and destruction of undead, methods of using necromancy to animate flesh. But it's a book collection, and it has 10 bulk.
Oh God.
So it's one of those, like, it's
I
not
just
really...
looked down at my.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah.
ugh.
What you're describing is the backpack I used to walk around with to play D&D in one location or another. I would carry my tomes.
Mm-hmm.
That would
It's the rule
just
book.
Slightly encumber me.
We'll put those
Yeah.
in item at manor.
I was just gonna put it in the spacious pouch.
Oh yeah, that too.
So
Oh, yeah, back holding.
that's my turn.
So,
You dump out an entire encyclopedia set.
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, so following
There we go.
following Crowley's exit, I'm going to I'm inspired by his style. So for the first time ever in this campaign, I'm going to use the item that I've had for God knows how long. And for no reason at all, I'm going to fly using the umbral cloak. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops! Ah, Jesus! Wait, stop.
You pop fabulous spooky.
So you said you're using your umbral wings finally?
Yeah, yeah. There, to fly 30 feet out of the room and landing because you need to land at the end.
Mm-hmm. Action 1, Action 2. You got one more action. Is it just stay there and keep an eye on it, see what happens?
Yeah, because someone should see what happens once we've all left the room.
Roger.
I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'll go into the light. Stumbles forward. Ah, hey guys. Anyone found a fancy stick?
Rodolph is all but hissing and spitting.
Taking that as a no.
It's a very crowded room.
I was gonna say that's one. So what the fuck do I see in here? This is the cat library.
Yep, pretty much. It's it's labeled as observation chamber. He also uses it as a
Okay.
private office.
Can I look among the... Actually, do we know what the control rod tends to be? Does it physically be like a big stick, or can it be anything?
If it's a physical one, it's usually fairly obvious. A lot of times it's just command words. Like if they don't
No, I
want
mean,
somebody to take control of it by mistake, they'll just use command words.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it like hidden and disguised as a book?
Yeah. Coming in, you look around like it's books. It's an office or a study, and you probably see like I imagine Rodolph probably checked like one or two of those plates, and you'll see a couple of them up. And I think you have dark vision. You have dark or low.
Nope.
You don't have. Dark.
I've
That's
got
right.
none. I have no
low light.
eyeballs. How am I supposed to see?
You have low light. Yeah. There's probably one like a couple of them are open and they're just dark rooms. There's one open that's like looking into the foyer or the reception hall.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing else I can really do on my turn, so I will investigate the bookshelves, see if there's anything weird beyond cat novels.
Is Roger the type to read stuff out loud, or is it just like reading it to himself?
Probably read it out loud, just because I imagine he struggled to read. Due to his past, he probably had to teach himself to read, and probably still has the habit of going, no, no, no. Even if he's just mumbling it, yeah, he's reading it out loud.
Give me a flat d20.
Oh dear lord. Don't you hate it when you have to roll dice in a dice rolling game? 17.
So like you're looking, okay, like I said, like aristocrats, green eggs and ham, Sam I am, and like you'll get to one and like it's like an adventure story about like a cat that got had to travel across Geb to return to its master. And it's like
This one's cute.
Cleops dealt with the zombies, and like as you're reading, the words start to change.
Uh-oh.
Like you'll see, like Cleops, Cleops jumped on the zombie's head, and if you use crushed will-o-wisp in 3/4 of an ounce of basilisk oil, and like it's starting to go into details of like some type of ritual.
Okay. Just like, and once you've mixed the toad's testicles with the guys, I think this one's weird, and not for cat reasons. I think this might be recipes.
I'd like to use recognize spell as a reaction. See what magic is at work here.
I gotta remember what the actual spell is. So there's a couple of these books that I don't remember the
Look, she's
exact spell
clever.
off the top of my head, but it's essentially disguised magic. Like the books are like journals that have been coated in this magic to make them look like regular other works of literature. Disguise magic.
God. BG3 Mating Rituals of Flumps book.
Yeah. And you'll find like 2 or 3 of these books that have it. And like you didn't see Roger do anything unique. He's just like, oh, book, and started reading it and like reading it out loud. So it's probably some type of command word that he used.
Okay.
I suppose that conveniently also applies to other objects in the room, or is it just the books? Nate asks aloud.
Seemed to be just the books,
Damn it.
or at least like, he only notices the magic on the books, and only the book Roger was holding changed.
So skimming it, it seems to be a recipe journal for potions or for spells.
It looks to detail the plans to create some type of plague or contagious life.
Oh, joy of joys.
Hmm.
So say that takes most of your turn.
Yeah, that's fair. Reading was hard.
Fossil Golem.
Oh my god, fucking Roger is just Knuckles from Sonic Boom. Just, let me see that. Oh wait, I can't read.
Oh, is he gonna reassemble himself? God damn it.
He's gonna step up here. I think that's within range.
We were all in the room.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna step up here. Just within reach of Feldar.
Of course.
You're back in that narrow hallway, so we'll give you a +1 AC.
Okay.
Because he's got a big old head. Lesser cover. Action
Yeah,
2.
I might.
Jaws. Oh, dear goodness. Here we go. Huh. God, whoa.
Ow!
So much damage.
Yeah,
Odin's
but it's okay.
balls.
Hey, Rudolph would have still been standing. Kind of.
Animus. Yeah, I'm assuming the rest of you guys are like.
Bad dinosaur.
I'm assuming the rest of you guys are essentially like pulling back into that room, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Right.
Feldar's not going to stay
Yeah.
there and try to take this thing.
No, no.
We'll pull Feldar back too. And
Yeah.
end the encounter.
It's all because I tried to ride the thing like a pony.
Yeah. And I'm also gonna cure wounds myself or whatever.
Reasonable.
Badly injured. I like that that's what your stats is listed as. How would you describe it? Ow.
When he's able to act, Rodolph is going to cast spell immunity on himself, and make himself immune to disguise magic.
Damn, that's a good idea.
No, I'm a little better off.
Let me see. Spell immunity.
Oh. Oh, I also have assurance, but whatever. It's fine.
Oh, there it is. Creature against the effects of a single spell. Choose spell name it aloud. See, that's the thing. Like, it's not targeting you. You can do a dispel. Yeah. Give me a hit the little counteract thingy there.
Dispel affects a single item.
You'd be able, like, you'd be able to pick out the different items.
Yeah, but I can only cast this thing once.
Oh, choose spell, name it aloud as part of the vertical opponent. Spell and he attempts to counteract.
It does say successfully counteracting a spell that targets an area or multiple targets. Wait, let me. Successfully counteracting a spell that targets an area or multiple targets with spell immunity negates the. What?
Range touch. Only for the target affected by spell immunity. So it'd be like if there's an AoE, like an AoE charm, you could make Roger immune to charm, and if it's an AoE that hit this whole room, only Roger would be not affected.
If I'm reading the books, would I not be considered the target for the effect of that magical effect?
No. The book is the target.
Can you cast that spell on objects?
No.
Well,
Do you have Dispel Magic? You don't have it prepared, do you?
I do have dispelled magic, but it only I can target a spell effect or an unattended magic item.
Mm-hmm.
If I cast a spell magic, would it dispel the effect on all the books?
I'll say if you roll a
Or
critical success, it would do all the books. If you do a regular success, it'll be
Okay.
one book.
Okay.
Because that'll be better than
that's
spell.
one Roger's already reading.
Gotcha. Yeah, in that case, I am going to take the book from Roger and cast a spell magic on it.
Do you not want to do it on one of the other ones? Because we can read this one.
I'm not convinced that Roger is reading the actual text as it changes.
Fair.
Let's see.
Like, he's not stopping you. He's like, yep, there you go.
Hero point.
Okay.
That's better.
Regular success. So, like, you said you're taking that book from Roger and doing it?
Yes.
So you'll take that book. It's like, okay. Like I said, I called it Disguise Magic because I couldn't remember the exact spell that it was. But it essentially, like, disguises the writing. Be able to take that and, it's like, okay. You can pick out the magic and it's got a command word on it. Clearly it was something that he was either said or read. And you'll be able to reach in and kind of, like, break the spell on that book. And you'll see where, like, the adventure novel is kind of, like, ghostly on the page, and that'll fade away. And what's left is essentially, yeah, the details of this plan to create contagious life.
Duh. Yikes.
Everyone has plague.
Yeah. Reverse plague.
Nurgle approves.
Wait,
Ages.
reverse plague?
Well, if plague's gonna kill you,
Oh.
this keeps you alive.
It's a zombie virus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cruel.
Yeah.
Is this like undeath life or like
No.
actual ass life?
Uh-huh.
Actual immortality, but not the fun kind.
And in a nation of undead, it would be essentially a plague, and the quick would be largely unaffected. So essentially, the exact opposite problem you had the entire first book.
There's a
Wow.
loose script on these books. We'll have to come back to this. Rodolph is going to tuck that book away on his person for later study. For now, we wait for the construct to deactivate.
What's down the hallway this way? Is that where
Oh, back over here?
are there any other doors like along here?
Nope. No other doors. I will give you this. So, Rodolph.
If I go here
Mhm.
and to here, because I was going to do this before the golem activated,
Mhm.
can I try to toss my cloak over the head of that figure on the left there? Or would that be just utterly pointless?
You can try.
Okay. Athletics? Like, I don't, what?
Because you're trying to do it so you can disable that trap, right?
Yeah,
Presumably
like that.
it's a trap.
It's a theory that I had.
So before the dino woke up, I was going to throw one of the chairs at it.
Are you any good at? Give me an occultism check.
Oh, occultism? Okay.
Or
Religion?
thievery.
Thievery, I got nothing.
I've got thievery.
Yeah, because
Oh,
to disable, it's like thievery to blind it, occultism to redirect it, or
I can give occultism
7th level
a check.
dispel magic. To
Yeah, no.
counteract it.
Nope. I mean, if Savath wants to try.
Yeah, I'm willing to try with thievery.
Can you get away with that without entering the room?
Well, it doesn't have attacks of opportunity, so you can sort of dash in, try something, and leave. Like,
So, Feldar, you're gonna run in and try to essentially redirect this thing.
yeah.
15's gonna trigger it.
Of course. Had it stopped?
Oh,
Not the
statue.
fossil,
No,
the hazard.
yeah, not the fossil. The trap.
Oh, no. Oh, well.
A small or large creature. The mummy
And this is how we
exhales
got a third new member of the party.
a blast of gray mist into the room that imparts an overwhelming sense that night itself is consuming all thought. Give me a will save.
Okay.
Night itself. It's like, oh my god, the most gothic and emo effect.
Oh, Jesus, I will be redoing that. Thank you.
Regular failure.
Shit.
12d6 mental damage. The
Yeah,
creature
okay,
takes full
whatever.
damage, is frightened 2, and fleeing as long as you remain frightened.
So, Frightened 2 is 2 rounds?
Frightened 2 is a -2 to basically everything, and it'll last 2 rounds. Fleeing
Okay,
is on your
so-
turn. You must spend each of your actions fleeing the source of condition as expediently as possible.
Okay, so I'm running away. That thing is so scary.
Gonna be honest, those are lines I never thought I would ever hear from them. And yet here we are.
Well,
And
that's
that
just
goes
rubbing
into
the
the
bridge of his nose.
entire room.
Yeah, you might want to wait a while before you go in there.
But that'll be a good spot to stop for tonight because it's getting
Yeah.
close to midnight in game,
Yeah.
and it's who knows
Yeah.
how late for Nate. Real game.
It is gone midnight here. The dog has fallen asleep behind me.
Poor puppy.
That's not a measure of time. He sleeps most of the time because
That's true. Yeah, they do.
like